You're live in the Big Brother house. Please do not swear. That's you, right? Not me. I turned everything off.
Oh, it's there's no silence thing with this ad.
Mm-mm.
We won't do that.
Ooh. Fancy, huh?
This is okay. So,
This is music.
yeah, it's not having it, so we'll just go without it, I think. Don't know why it's like that. Grown Folks Group Show is in the building. All right. So let's open up shop. As I say, let's open up shop because the family's rolling in.
I was going to say what I thought we were already open and in.
No, we're not in there yet because look, we're not up on screen.
Oh, I see.
But they're listening to us chat. Everyone's listening to us talk. We sound weird, Diva. Go for it. I know.
We can hear you. I can see you. You can hear us. I can see you.
This is going to be a different one this evening, folks. This is going to be a different one this evening. But welcome in. All right, let's open up shop. Bam. Here we are. Peace and good evening. People, One Nation family rolling in. Welcome in. Yours truly, DJ Croc or Mo Cunningham. Whichever one you know me by this evening. This is a different stream from what I usually do around here. This is a launch, a celebration of a different kind this evening. Shout out to Grown Folks Grooves in the building. Salute, sir, and thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I like my colours too. Thank you very much. Other people were getting compliments around here, but I wasn't getting none.
Oh, thank you. I can't see too good, so I'll just say thank you, a blanket thank you to whoever that is or whoever that was.
The person is laughing. The person who knows what I'm talking about is laughing.
Greetings and salutations, people.
Good evening. We got T Dot in the building. The Diva speaks all the way from T Dot. Welcome in, Diva. Thank you very much for being here. Great to see you as always. Yes. You know what? I might even have a pair of Farrah trousers somewhere I can rock with this jumper.
Complete the look.
Yeah, I see you, Diva. I see you. Anyway, welcome in to celebration this evening of the launch of the relaunch of One Nation. I've been telling you all for some time. Big things have been going on behind the scenes with One Nation, and expect big things for 2024. And so, we thought it was time to start sharing with you some of what's been happening and where we are now and where we're going to be going forward from this point on. So I'm joined by the wonderful Sidel Stewart.
Hi.
Who some of you should know already from in the chat. Comfort in the chat. This is what she looks like. I don't know how. Do you want to introduce yourself?
No,
No.
I want to introduce you.
All right, go on then. Good evening, Melissa Deans in the building.
So, good evening, everybody. We're going to say good evening now, and then we're going to refrain from saying good evening every time someone joins the chat, because these are the things I cuss about when people go live, because it's a constant interruption. And I get it. You want to big up the people who've taken the time to tune in, but just good evening. Just take it as a pre-recorded recording, a pre-record.
See, I love that about it.
And
That's the nicest way of telling me to shut up. I love it. Thank you so much.
We're just going to rein it in. We're going to rein it in. So, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you for joining us for this One Nation relaunch with the one, like he said, known as Mo Cunningham. I call him Maurice, which feels very weird because I know him as DJ Crook, as I'm sure most of you do. But because we've been working together in a professional capacity, it feels like there's a delineation between when we're talking business, we do government names, and then when we're catching joke and running vibes, then we do monikers, and so that's where we are. But I have a running order because I'm professional like that, so we're gonna stick to plan.
Okay.
And we've got a couple of special guests who are also here with us this evening who are going to join us on screen. So stay tuned. If you haven't already got yourself a beverage, do that. Get yourself together, get comfortable, and join us to enjoy the ride and catch two jokes and some vibes. So, Maurice.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm good.
Yeah?
You?
Good. How are you feeling in this moment?
Nervous.
To get here.
Excited and nervous. Excited and an equal amount of excited and nervous because it's been a journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've got this thing I want to show to the world, and I'm like, I really hope they feel this. I hope they understand what it's all about, where it came from, and excited at the same time because it's like the realization of a vision.
Yes, bringing it to life.
Yeah.
It's a good position to be. I think nervous mixed with excitement is good, not just nerves, because there's no real reason to be nervous. It's a beautiful thing.
I know.
But I get it. So obviously, like we've talked about, a lot of people know you as DJ Crook, and people have great things to say about you as DJ Crook. So I did some scouting and pulled together some quotes, and there's a common theme which I'm sure Jay will touch on when we introduce her shortly, in regards to the work that you and her have done together.
I'm just gonna move this a little bit because you're off screen a little bit. I want to be able to see.
But some of the things that I found online were people saying, from a DJ perspective, that you're an excellent craftsman. It's a word that comes up very often alongside your name. And that you really know your craft and you know how to engage your audience. You never disappoint, and people should definitely hire you. Another comment was that you mix old school hits with new school and you play with pure class, which I thought was also another beautiful comment. And craftsmanship and working of a crowd is a joy to watch. Your knowledge of music comes like you are a librarian. Plus, you have beautiful turntable and mic skills. Can you talk to us a little bit about your DJ journey and how you became DJ Crook? How did Mini Crook start to get to DJ Crook?
That's probably something I will. That starts with a woman by the name of Sister Culture, and when I was about 9 years old, having summer holidays in London, I one night heard this music playing outside, sound system set up and playing outside. This is back in the days when you could play sound system outside without police coming in.
Them long times ago.
Yeah. I was really just kind of mesmerized, captivated by the music, and I was too young to go outside them time of night. I was about 9 years old, like I said, but kind of cracked the window and I was listening. I was up half the night just listening to the sound. And it was like I said, Sister Culture, who's a bit of a legend and icon and a trailblazer in many ways, because even to this day, there are not many women who have their own sound system.
Yeah.
So she really was a pioneer like that. and she would not only select on the sound, play the sound, carry box with the sound, but also she'd toast on the sound. She was very much against slackness and slack lyrics, particularly against women. So she kind of was a campaigner against that and really advocated that the tune that she was playing and other sounds played were not kind of, degrading women in that way. So she was very big on that too. So it was really from listening to her one night, I was just captivated by that. And I just, from that moment on, I just kind of pestered her for the rest of that summer holiday about, can I come and look at your sound system? Can I come and play some of your records and whatever? And she took me under her wing. That was really the beginning of my kind of entry into music and sound system in particular. I grew up on a road in Wolverhampton where music was a big part of our way of life.
Right.
Although it was primarily reggae music, I didn't actually discover other genres of music until I was about 10 years old. Up until I was about 9, I only knew reggae music existed. I had never heard any other genre of music
at all
until I was about 10. And then the second genre I discovered was pop music from school days. From then I just kind of started to discover all these different genres of music, and that's partly where the eclecticness comes from. So I do like to take people on a musical journey because I like. So when people ask me what I play, I say it's quicker if I tell you what I don't play. So I just tell them I don't play rock, I don't play classical, and that's it.
Anything else can get
pretty much anything else. Yeah, as long as it ain't Wifey and Starship, it can, or any R. Kelly, then it can get played.
Or cameos. We're not going to go there.
It might even get played, but yeah, apart from that.
I don't think I've ever heard you play that.
I have played it because actually I like the tune.
Yeah.
Candy's it's actually a great tune. It's just been battered. So we don't really do that too much around
Not even the General Levy version.
We don't do that around here. We don't really do that around here.
I hear you. I'm joking. So I did touch on Taught by an Icon, which was Sister Culture, and that's who you've actually just shared with us. How did you then transition into having the idea of creating One Nation, and what was the impetus for that becoming an event?
Frustration at not being able to find the kind of musical experience that I wanted, which was eclectic in terms of genre and in terms of era.
Right.
And I couldn't find anywhere that played the full scope for me to go as a raver that played the full scope of music that I wanted to hear in one night. So I want to go to a night where I can hear Dennis Brown and Loose Ends and General Levy or whatever in the same night, and it was really hard for me to find anywhere that really gave me that full breadth of music, of old school and as well as new stuff as well, because we love old school and the classics, but also I want to hear something that I've not heard before. You know what I mean? I want to be wowed, like, my God, who is this? What is this? I want that as well as the old school classics. And I struggled to find that, especially in Brixton, with the wave of gentrification that's been sweeping through here. So in the end, I just thought, you know what, if I can't find what I'm looking for, let me just create it myself. And that's pretty much how One Nation was born as an event. And
how old is One Nation now?
We celebrated our 10th anniversary last year.
Wow.
So yeah, this year will be our 11th year of existence.
Yeah. Decades, decades in the game.
Yes.
All right. So you decided to expand on the brand and develop additional services that are complementary to the sound system and the cultural sound system and what that does. But before you get into that, I would like to invite Jay Gibbs to the live, who is a brand identity pioneer, I want to say. Hey! She cultivates brands. Hey! She creates the most amazing synergies between the vision you have that you want out in the world and her methodology. I won't get into that. I'm going to leave you guys to have that conversation. But just to give the audience a taste, Jay's methodology empowers her clients to embody their authentic self Through their business, she works with healers, creators, and change makers to cultivate people-centered and purpose-led brands that people value, trust, and advocate for. And Jay has been instrumental in recreating One Nation. And so Maurice is going to invite her to the stage and they are going to chop it up, as it were.
Hey!
You're proper gassing me up.
You have to be gassed. How you mean?
Oh, wow. That was special.
You are special, man. How you mean?
Oh, look at the plants attacking me. Yeah. Wow, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good to be here. It's good to see this day come. And yeah, we were talking backstage. It's been a process, and this is part of the methodology that you kind of spoke to, Sid. It's a process. And I was just before, I know we're going to get into a conversation, but as you were speaking about like where One Nation came from in your journey, I was reflecting back. It was taking me back to the workshops that we had and how that story unfolded through our exploration and conversation, and the kind of like a clarity that kind of just came through, and the linkages, like how the themes kind of run through the story and then into how you do what you do, why you do what you do. So I was just reminiscing.
Yeah, it's been a great process. Yeah, it's been a great process. Sorry.
No, go. This is
okay. Yeah. So Jay, I really wanted to give people a bit more of an appreciation and an insight into that process that we went through, because that really underpinned everything that we're going to see and show people going forward. And some people will remember, some of the people in the chat as well might remember being sent out a questionnaire that they filled out and sent back, and might be thinking, what happened with that questionnaire? What this is part of what happened with the questionnaire. Do you want to say a little bit about the process that you took me through with One Nation? Because the purpose was obviously I wanted to level up the business. Like I just said to Sid, we've been in existence for over a decade now, and I really wanted to bring a higher level of experience, not even just service, experience to our people and to our community. And so really, I guess that's where the whole conversation began. But do you want to say something about that process you took me through? Because like Sid said, it was, I could go on with more big, long, expensive words as well to describe the value of what you did. So it's a little bit about that process that you took me through, please.
Okay. I'm tempted to throw it back to you. Like, what was the process that you felt you went through, and then maybe I fill in.
Okay.
Maybe I jump in.
Go on then. Let's do it like that.
Yeah.
So you want me to start talking about the process?
Well, yeah. What's your recollection? Like, where did we come? Where did you come in? Like, how did it feel to? How did it feel to do the question? You mentioned the survey. What was that like? What was that experience like for you?
So sending out that survey to everyone was a bit of a nerve-wracking experience, because I'm wondering what people are going to say. Are people going to be honest? Are they really going to say what they think and feel? And I remember that we made it anonymous to encourage people to be open and honest with their answers. And so I trust that people were. But initially, I found out about you by watching one of Sid's live streams whenever. I can't remember when it was.
It was Up Your Game, I think.
Right. So I first saw you and found out about you by watching one of Sid's live streams. I had a conversation with her about you, and she was doing just like she did look a while ago. She was like, "Oh my God, Jay's amazing! Oh my days, and two things that stuck in my head that she said was, she said what Jay does is revolutionary, and she said you will get it in terms of the value of what she does. You will get it once you go through it. You will get it, and that stuck in my head. And that rings true to this day, because when we started the process with you getting me to do that questionnaire or sending it out, I'll admit I had like a half an appreciation of the value of what you're doing, because I've never been through this process before. So part of me was still like, where are we going with this? What are we? You know, is this really gonna be that important to what we're doing? You know, I've never been through this whole brand process before. So as we were going along, I was like, okay, I'm connecting dots and seeing, okay, yeah, I can see where this can work and what have you. But it wasn't until we really got to the end of it. Maybe I'm jumping forward a bit too far. But once we got to the end of it, what Sid said came back into my head, because now I've been through it and I was like, I get it now. I fully get it now. Because all that came back from, let's say, that survey, I had no idea that people thought and felt the way that they did about One Nation until the results came back in from that survey. I had no idea that what we were doing meant that much to people until I read it in that survey. I had no idea of how important that thing was to people until I read it in the survey. So that was really good, because in a way I felt validated, you know, by the last 10 years of what we're doing. Actually, my gosh, people really do value this. This is actually really important to people. So yeah, that's that questionnaire was very enlightening. It was very heartwarming, and I felt it was validating for all the effort that I put into that thing that people don't see. I felt actually it's not, they do see it, they do appreciate it, even though they might not be in the room when I'm doing what I'm doing, but they do appreciate what I'm doing. So yeah, it was all of those things.
Nice. Yeah, that's always good to hear. It is something that people do share about that experience. A bit scary, but also very insightful, very revealing to hear your audience, your clients, your community give you that feedback, give you those words about what you do. So I remember that.
And also understanding who my audience was.
Yes.
You know, from the breakdown of how much percentage of women and how much percentage of men, and then saying why they come and why they feel comfortable, especially why the women feel they comfortable to just rock up by themselves. That was something that kept coming up again and again and again through the survey. Women saying that I feel comfortable to come on my own. I had no idea that was such an important thing, but it was, you probably remember, it was something that we kept seeing time and time again. Women saying, I feel comfortable coming by myself.
Yeah. Because of the environment that you had created, what came through really strongly, and you might see the themes of this running through the website, socials, the brand in general, is this community that you have created, that you've facilitated. And some of the things that Sid read out before, what people were saying about you, definitely showed up throughout that survey. And then there was one at the end that I left to, like, for that little icing on the cake. I don't know if you remember. It was it's like your Sunday dinner.
Yes.
Like your mum's Sunday
like
dinner.
Your mum's Sunday
you know what it is, but it's always good.
Yeah. That's it. Like your mum's Sunday dinner. Even though you know what you're gonna get, you're never disappointed or something like that.
Yeah. And that was just a nice little icing on the cake, which kind of brought it all together. But yeah, so I mean, to like skip back a little bit, we started with your story, which you've just shared, and that, like I said, that came through with all the threads, And then doing the survey and getting the feedback from that, we could start to then see the threads that weave through your story and what people are experiencing and what's bringing them to you and bringing them back and all of this good stuff. Yeah. And then we can start, as you say, to build a profile, an understanding of the community and what links them together, what unites them, what's the important thing that One Nation does for them. So that was the first kind of part. And then we kind of get into like, well, why are you doing this? What's the purpose behind this? What's your why? And we start to weave all those threads through. And it all the clarity starts to emerge and it all starts to make sense. Oh, this is why. Yeah. This is why I'm doing this, because, when I was back on that road listening to reggae, you fast forward and you see all the threads that have led you up to this point. So
that was a great process. It was a great process, and it actually helped me to the thing I gained the most out of this brand DNA process with you was clarity about why I exist and why I'm here doing what I'm doing, and then being able to match that up with the responses of the people saying why they continue to keep coming to One Nation, and then starting to see the synergy between my why and their why. For example, with Ritzy being in Brixton, and primarily I wanted to base it here because I wanted to stand as something that was against the wave of gentrification that's in the area as well. And a lot of people could relate to that. A lot of people could relate to the fact that they could go somewhere and get an experience as Black people without the gentrifiedness in the event, and feel prioritized in the event, and not feel that they had to code switch or small up themselves in any way, shape, or form. And so that clarity is what I gained from that process. I'm like, this is actually the root of why I'm here, not just as an event, but as a brand and as a DJ, and all these kind of things run through everything I do, and I get it now. And it also helps me to inform what we do going forward, and making sure that whatever we do going forward is in alignment with the why. This is why we do this. This is why we do it here. This is why we have these speakers or this sound or what have you, because we're from sound system, and sound system sister culture taught me the importance of sound system, good sound, and not playing slackness in the dance. And maybe that's one of the reasons why so many women said they feel good to come by themselves, because we don't play slackness in the dance. So getting that clarity with everything was wonderful. It was like, it's like having blurred vision kind of clear up. It was good. It was good.
I love it. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. And I'm going to say,
just one other thing real quick. Another thing that's done for me is it's in terms of making decisions going forward about who I work with as a business.
Right.
That really informs now who I work with as a business. So when I have negotiations with people about any kind of collaboration, I'm looking at what their why is, and I'm looking at what's driving them, and if they're not in alignment with my why, then sometimes I say to them, well, actually, maybe I'm not the best fit for you, or maybe I'm not the best person for this job. It's allowing me to say no to some people more, whereas sometimes we feel under pressure to always say yes to everybody. Well, actually, now I've started saying no to more people, which is very liberating.
And also I want to say to that, what that can do is bring out your best work, right? Because when you're working with people that are aligned, things flow in a different way, and things come out of that in a way that you can't always envisage at the beginning, right? It's following these alignments. When you know who you are, what you stand for, then you know who you're aligned with, and you can move accordingly. And it starts to flow and link together in a more organic
Absolutely.
way.
Absolutely. And it's less stressful as well, because I'm not having to work against the tide of, or we're not having to have our objectives or, you know, our perspectives or anything like, or our philosophies clashing, because we're on the same page. You know what I mean?
Not
So,
compromising.
yeah, it's easier to work, and I feel like greater work is achievable when there is that underlying alignment. But I only have that now because of going through that process. And so it's great, you know, even up to this week, I've been saying yay and nay to different people based on where people's values are and where they're coming from. So it's been good.
And on the values, that's, I want to just jump in and say the second part. So we talked about the first part of that work, and then the second part, once you kind of clear on your why and where your whys connect you with your people, then we go in and shape that DNA, the truths, the core pillars of truth that you stand by, that anchor you, the values that drive you forward, the characteristics, the shape of your voice, you know, all of these things. We start to build that picture of brand around those anchors that are important. So yeah, I just wanted to just wrap that little bit up at the end.
But yeah, it was wonderful. It was wonderful, and it was very much like Sid said. She said, once you go through it, you'll get it. And man, when we'd finished that, and you know, you'd set me everything that we'd uncovered or discovered in this process. It was a wonderful kind of light bulb type moment, man. It was great, and it really has helped me to give me a clearer direction on where I'm steering this ship, you know. So it's been brilliant. It's been brilliant, and I'm very.
I hope your brand world guide is still seeing daylight. It's
Absolutely. Sometimes I do have to remind myself, because obviously it's new as a reference point, but it's good to have it as a reference point. So yes, it does still see daylight.
Good. Yeah, and I'm yeah, I know you're gonna move on and speak to Kaylee about this, but also I kind of want to just almost like do the layup in, like, you know, how we kind of work together, and kind of I give her all of this as well. So when she's coming in to do the visual design and the website strategy, and there's all this she gets as a foundation to build on. And yeah, that's the layup. So yeah, just wanted to bring that in.
And it's a nice layup. It's a very good layup. Do you want
I want to ask the $1 million question that as business owners, as service providers, that myself and Jay and Kaylee often come up against, which is that when you talk to clients, I often get people coming to me too early in their process, and then I say, oh, you need to go back a couple of steps and solidify your brand before we get to the point of systemizing your business. And like you said, one of the struggles that I have, no matter, I've been working with Jay, you know, entwined with Jay and known Jay for like 20 years, but we've been working on and off with each other for years now. And I still struggle to articulate what she does. But when I say to people, yeah, your brand really isn't clear. And I think it would be a great starting point to take a couple of steps back, work with Jay, or just have a conversation. Because it gets to the point where I can't explain it, and I'm like, just have a conversation. And they're like, yeah, well, I don't need a logo. And I'm like, what? Your brand is not a logo. Your brand is not a logo. I just want to say it for the people in the back. Your brand is not a logo.
Yes.
And people just don't have an understanding. And I know Jay can speak on this way more than me, but I find it frustrating. I don't do branding.
Yeah, and I remember us having that same conversation where, because initially I was starting this process with you.
Yeah.
And you said to me that exact same thing. I think you need to go back and go through this. Hence, that was the layup to Jay. But yeah, I can absolutely say that I'm so glad you did that, because it obviously all made sense now. Going back to the beginning and laying the foundations first made sense. To be you build on something, you lay the foundations first and you build up. So it made perfect sense. Yeah. And it worked out. Just perfectly. It wouldn't have made sense to go through the whole business systems process and then go back.
No.
To do the other one,
because it would have shifted. It would have shifted.
Yeah. So a question I have now with that is, what has been the shift? Where were you before and where are you now?
So where I was before was not really clear at all on the why people continue to come to One Nation. I just thought it's a nice event, and I put it on for the reason that I stated before, because something to stand against the gentrification that was sweeping the air. I wanted Black people in particular to have, or at least lovers of Black music, but Black people in particular to have an experience that was gentrification free, particularly in this area of Brixton. But I wasn't aware before the survey that we did of the deeper importance and significance that people placed on that experience, on having that experience. So like I said, the survey was validating for me in one respect. Where we are now is everything is, so we're going to be showing, website and logo and all of that's leveled up, but everything is leveled up from front of house stuff to all of the tech that we use is leveled up. All of the tech, all of the sound system stuff, all the live streaming stuff, the cameras that we use, the lighting, Sid coming on, my God, studio.
Yeah.
everything is leveled up, front of house and behind the scenes as well. So people are going to be seeing and feeling and experiencing and getting a whole new level of experience from One Nation. And it's something that one of the driving forces behind this leveling up of the brand and the business was, I'm not sure if it was like throughout the lockdowns, but probably was that time, because we were all out, or those of us in the entertainment business were out of work for all that time and had a lot of time just to be sitting at home, twiddling our thumbs and wondering what we're going to do. And I think through that time, I spent a lot of time looking online looking at what other people were doing and what other services were offered out there. And I was looking at a lot of wedding services and things like that. And I saw lots of really good, and I started following people, and there were lots of good wedding services that I was seeing, particularly in America, more than over here. But I was seeing these very high-end services being delivered, and they look great. But the one thing I noticed was that the vast majority of them were targeted at white people, which isn't a problem. But it said to me, as a Black person looking in, I was like, these places aren't even trying to reach me. They're not even trying to appeal to me. They don't value my money. It's the same money. You don't value, like, we have money too. We have weddings too. We celebrate too. We have funerals too. We do all of these things. But none of these services I was looking at this high level were even trying to reach me, I felt. And just like with the not being able to get that kind of Black musical experience in Brixton that led me to create One Nation, I was offended by how I was feeling looking at all of these sites. And again, it led me to say, well, okay, if I can't find, or if I'm struggling to find this level of service that is aimed at my people, then let me just create it, and it's that kind of mindset, which again, this is something that came out in the brand DNA process of me being much of a Pan-Africanist, a Garveyite thinker. If you can't find a seat at the table, you build your own kind of mentality. And so that's really what started the whole kind of burning desire to level up and like, we are worthy and deserving of a level of that service as well. Why am I struggling to find this level of service, high level of service that is in the Black people? So yeah, that was really the kind of burning desire in me that led me to want to level up the business,
Yeah, and as you say, and that kind of really did come out through the process, through our conversations together. It was really prominent, and I think if you go onto the website, you'll see how that comes through. And yeah, this care and professionalism and attention to detail. I can't remember. We had a word for it, and I can't remember what it was. As a particular
intentional extraness.
Extraness. There was this thing that kept coming through about this, bringing the plant, rearranging the plants in the Ritzy, and like this care and attention that just goes into the experience that you want to provide for the community, for Black people to feel, as you said, that they're deserving, we are deserving, and we deserve quality, we deserve professionalism, we deserve all of these things. And that really is a core pillar of the One Nation experience brand.
Absolutely, and particularly the leveling up that we're showing from today onwards. And also it was also a feeling that, or a belief / feeling that my parents' generation, they sacrificed and settled for less so that my generation did not have to. So I'm not about continuing that pattern of constantly settling for less than we are worth. We don't have to. They did that so that we don't have to. So, I almost feel like I kind of owe it to them, to operate on a higher level and not just be settling for whatever we can get or whatever, whatever is available. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah,
beautifully said.
Thank you. Where do you want to go from here?
So I was asking, is there anything else that you wanted to add, Jay, that you kind of stood out for you in the process?
I think we've kind of talked about it, the things that really stood out. But yeah, I mean, just, I suppose, like, being a creative led person, this process is suited to people-centered people, people that care about people, that have, that there is a purpose behind what you're doing, there is a why. And being a kind of a creative person as well, being able to kind of really delve into what's underneath things, and like not just on the surface, but maybe where some of this might be coming from. That's really where the juice is, I want to say. And you brought the juice. So yeah, I appreciate it. It was fun. It was a fun thing to do. Like we're talking about a lot, there's process, there's work involved, but also it is fun. Like we have fun while we're doing it. We bring who we are. You brought fully who you are into this process, and that's where we get the best. That's where we get the best work. So yeah. just
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I know the sessions that I joined with you guys was jokes. We spent way too much time playing, and it was just like, is this work? Like, there were times when you look on the screen at all of our faces on Zoom, and you're just like, if you could think about this 20 years ago, would you ever see yourself doing this and this being work?
Right.
And the answer would have been no.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it is work, but work can be fun. Work can be enjoyable. Work is fulfilling, is all of these things, and and the output shows it. You know, the output shows it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you for joining us, Jay, taking the time out to be a part of the live unveiling.
Do you want to say anything? You want Jay to tell people where they can get it?
And we want to say to Jay of Empowering Purpose, where can people find you? Other than, I want to say, on the website, once we unveil it, there is a site credits page where you can find the details of the team that helped to bring the brand to life. But in the meantime, Jay, if people want to find you independently, where can they go?
Yeah, empoweringpurpose.co.uk. You can find me on Insta.
Yes.
Not very active on Insta, but I'm there. I'm present sometimes. LinkedIn, likewise. Quiet. I'm a bit quiet, but that might be changing soon. We'll see. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jay.
Cool.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Me up at the beginning. I'm still like, I feel a bit.
I'll send you the recording. Yeah, I'll send you a recording.
I just listen to it every morning. That's enough.
Get yourself ready for the day.
And thank you again for taking me through the brand DNA process with One Nation. It's been wonderful to go through, and I really see, having been through the process now, I can fully advocate for it and fully see and appreciate the importance of what you do on this brand, on the One Nation brand. And just, I'm so grateful for all that you've done to help this brand level up. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure, and I just can't wait to see what's happening, what's going to happen, what the next level, what the level up is.
There'll be a next one. I'm sure we're going to there'll be a next one.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the events announcement as well, whenever that's coming.
I know. People
no
are on
pressure,
me.
no pressure.
People are on me. It's not just you. Everybody's on me. Oh, when are you going to start back at One Nation? Come on, we're waiting. I know.
One thing at a time, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Happy birthday and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Later.
Bye.
Oh, wow.
You good?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
Is it a bit emotional?
I'm good. It is a little bit, because, we've been doing this work for a minute.
Yeah.
And, going through that kind of work in particular is a bit of an emotional ride, isn't it? Because people are sharing their feelings and emotions with you about you and your business and your brand. And so, that's going to pull a few heartstrings, regardless of what people say, whether they say good things or bad things. It's gonna be something that kind of pulls at your heartstrings a little bit. But it's good, man. It's been like I said, it's been a great process, and I learned a lot through it and from it, and to be here where we are today now, to kind of show the fruits of all of that, then yes, it's great. It's
good. Cool. All right, how's everyone doing? Because I know it's burning crock not to say hi to everybody every time someone joins. So do you want to have a look at the screen and just say hello to your people?
I was going to say hi to Laura Stars, Danette, blessings, Laura Stars, Black Gypsy, big up yourself, Miss G, big up Bruce Willis, and big up Karen James, and anyone who I've not seen, and anyone who's watching who doesn't have an account and can't interact. Salute and welcome in. That's it.
You feel good?
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
All right. So after the layup, what did you call it? The layup. I've never heard that expression before.
Basketball.
Oh, I see. I'm not. Yeah, no. I used to
Okay.
play netball, but yeah, no. So I didn't know. I gathered what it meant, but I never heard it before. So off the back of you having done the DNA work, so like the blueprint of the brand, if you like,
Mhm.
and documenting that and laying that level of the foundation from the very bottom, right?
Mhm.
The next stage is to then bring that to life in visuals, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, I get it now. I understand what I'm creating,
Mhm.
what
Why
is
I'm
going
creating
into
it.
it, why I'm creating it, who it's for,
Mhm.
who it isn't for, like you
Mhm.
said, which is a massive defining moment. I think
Mhm.
having been through this process as well,
Mhm.
that was the part that, when you haven't done this process
Mhm.
and you're marketing and you're like, well, I just want anybody who wants to come can come.
Mhm.
And you get to a point where you'll get a marketeer or a brand professional who will say, like, who are you marketing to? And you're like, anybody who can rave, and anyone who's 18 to 60 can come. And it's like, yeah, but you need to narrow it down. And for most people, they'll go, well, why? Why would I, rule out people and lose money? But there is something so special about honing in
Absolutely.
on who your people are.
Absolutely.
Did you find that with the process?
100%. 100%. What I understood around that was that I'm trying to switch this thing up. I thought I'd done it. What I got from that is that, like you said, I'm not. While I was trying to, appeal to every and anybody and whoever would come, what I understood was that this whole thing about your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yes.
And what I understand now is that I don't have loads and loads of people, masses of thousands of followers and things like that. What I do have is a smaller, more loyal community.
Yes.
That Jay said before is a community that we have that stay and they keep coming. After 10 years, they're still coming. And then to going through that brand DNA process, they put why.
Yeah.
They keep coming back, why they feel safe and feel good to keep coming. So that's what I understood. It's not about appealing to all and sundry and everybody must come. It's about, I have my community and this is why it's important to my community. And this is why they keep coming. And that's one of the reasons why, we're launching this to the family and the community first before we really take this wide and out there like that. So we wanted the family to see this first. We wanted you guys to see the unveiling of what we've been working on first before we go take it to everybody else. But yeah, that's one of the things I definitely got from that. I understand that I have a tight knit community, and it's a loyal community, and they stay supportive, and that's really what I have.
They share with their people and they bring their people in. And that's how it grows.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful place to be.
Thank you. It is.
And so as we roll into the next phase of now, you're very clear, you know who, you know why, you know where, and you know what. And now it's like, okay, how do we present this? How do we capture the essence of what we've created and share it on a visual level? And then after that, how do we then incorporate that visual into a functioning site that provides the experience that you want people to have? And with no further ado, I would like to introduce the visual maverick that is Kaylee Hall of Hall Creative. Kaylee creates humanizing brands and website experiences for online service providers ready to level up in professionalism. Welcome to the stage.
I was gonna say, like, where's the soundboard? Where are my effects? Thanks, guys. Great because I'm joking.
Hey, Kaylee.
Hi. Thank you for like big intro. That was beautiful. Maverick.
Fitting, man.
Me.
Fitting. Yeah, man. You.
Are
you, man? Are you?
But what a level up! Like, what a huge change! It's a complete shift, isn't it?
It is, man. It is. It is. It absolutely is. It's been a great journey, and like Sid said, it's a good place to be, man. We're about to launch a new ship, almost. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been good.
Massively. I remember when we were, well, Jay and I we collaborate in a way that we kind of both inside of each other's meetings and discovery sessions. So the workshops that you had with Jay, I was there, listening to you kind of realize. I think you know your brand, but I think sometimes you don't realize that what you have is a brand. So listening to you kind of pull some of these stories out of you. You talked about sister culture. You talked about, you know, the way that you're working to remedy the gentrification of South. So it felt like you were kind of almost realizing or reconnecting with the reason why you were even kind of so strongly kind of advocating for this in the first place.
Yeah. It was, it was great that you were there for those meetings and those workshops with Jay, because it meant that you were getting all of this backstory and that same foundational understanding of where I was coming from and where the brand was coming from. And so you then being able to take all of that. I don't know if we would have got the same results if you hadn't have been there listening and taking in all of that information. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it was great that you were there throughout that process, as opposed to having to then have to explain all of that to you or someone else after we've been through that process. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it was great that you were there. Great.
There's a formula. So there's like a flow, there's a connection. Jay and I had conversations about what we were feeling, about you know, everything that you shared with us. There's a lot of empathy kind of included in formulating how we move forward. And I remember, I know for a fact people are like, oh, I'm not doing all of that. Why is she asking me to do this? When we had the website strategy session and I asked you, you're laughing. You're not laugh. And I asked you laughing because you're like, oh my God, yeah, you feel seen. Your neck hurting you.
Yeah, little bit.
But you did good. It's not easy for anyone to do. I asked you to visualize One Nation as if it was a physical business, a real space. Yeah. If money was no objects and you had all the space in the world and you could design a space that you wanted to, what would it look like? You were like, what's she doing? Yeah, it's a mad humbling moment, isn't it? But you did it and you walked me through this beautiful store and it felt very warm and it felt comforting and it didn't feel like the kind of place where you got to come and bring your money and buy. It felt like somewhere where you could hang out, connect with others and just enjoy the space, enjoy music and kind of just be and exist there.
That's right. Absolutely. The place that I had in mind when I said that was a place called Moods Music. Moods Music, which is it's a music and black gift store in Atlanta, and it's one of my favorite stores on earth, man. It's wonderful when you go in there. You're surrounded by music and wonderful black gifts and art and literature and jewelry, and it's just, and they have like these really nice Chesterfield settees where you can just sit and chill out and listen to music, and it's just wonderful. I love it. And so that's kind of what I had in mind. So some of the people it's comfortable when you come in. There's music, and you know the Chesterfields was just, it's style. You know, when you see us sit in a Chesterfield, that's like that's class. It's class. You know. So it was all of those things when you go in there. So that was kind of it. So it was an interesting way to get me to think about the website. So when people come to what do you want them to see? What do you want them to feel? You asking me, how do you want people to feel when they walk in the door? How do they feel? And are they listening to music? And what's the smells? And what's the colors? And all of this. So it was a very interesting way for you to get me to think about what I want people's experience to be when they visit the website.
That is exactly it. And that's what I do. Like, it's about building an experience that reflects who you are as a business, your value, the personable energy that you bring through, how they should receive you as well. These people that are coming to the events, how do they already receive you? Because it shouldn't be any different from that. We're not trying to create a formula just to kind of get you to make money. It's not about that.
Yeah.
It's about bringing those principles through and kind of reflecting it in a way that when people see it, they know, bam, straight away who you are and how they're going to be able to kind of connect with you, or the way that they're going to feel kind of like there's a magnetic connection, isn't there? And it should be natural when the design, everything that's, you know, all the visuals speak to that audience. And you can only do that by finding out who that audience is, being really clear on that, working on all of the bits and pieces in between, like how would you speak to each other if you were face to face? What kind of conversations are you having? How are they showing up? What is it like? You can only kind of attract that kind of audience as strangers if you already kind of have done that work, that discovery, to be able to build that experience for them to receive that. Do you feel like you are there is the question. Why are you smiling, man? Look, it's so funny. This is what the Zooms were like, by the way. This is what was happening in all of the Zooms. No behavior.
Do you think that I'm there in terms of what the website or the branding or the
way your visuals, and I say visuals, I mean anything that they see that represents you now. Do you feel like when you launch that it's going to be a representation of the kind of connections that you want?
Absolutely, because it's like with moods, right? So when I go in moods, the first thing you get about moods is for Black people, right? So obviously there's no sign saying white people can't come in, but when you get in there, all the motifs that you see on the t-shirts and the music you're hearing and the album covers you see around the wall and the art, everything, the literature, everything says we are here to serve primarily the Black community. But we do it in a very stylish and classy way. Do you know what I mean? So you can still go in there with your trainers or your Timbs on and like that, and you're not going to feel out of place. You're not going to feel like, oh, I should dress up and come in. You're still going to feel cool, but still what they do has a level of class and sophistication about it when you go in, and you feel that when you go in there. And that's what I feel. I'm hoping people get that. That's what I'm getting from the website that you have created. It says who it's for, and there is definitely that level of class and sophistication there on the site. Even though I still think, like with Moods, you can still come with your trainers on. If that's your thing, you can still come with your trainers, your Timbs on or whatever, but we got class in here. We got Chesterfields up in here.
You have all the Chesterfields.
Yeah, so I feel that, and obviously we got a bit of music in there as well. So yeah, I definitely feel it's very much where I wanted us to be, from that visual representation of Moods to what we've got with the website. I feel yes, we're definitely there. Yeah, man, we're there.
Nice. That makes me happy. Also, I think we should probably touch on maybe a technical piece that a lot of people don't realize they have to give a lot of energy to in website creation, which is the website copy. Copy is all of the words on the website that help you turn a visitor. You did not like that. None of us like it. We don't. It's not
challenging.
It's very confronting as well. But it's the words that turn casual visitors or viewers or passers-by into clients, community members, friends. So those words have got to be compelling. They've got to tell your story without being boring and saying, "Oh, learn more. Click this button and learn more." I'm not here to learn more.
You know, you can't tell Haley about learn more.
Like it's the library. What are we here to do? We're not here to learn more. I want something to pop out and grab me. You know what I mean? Not here to learn more. Like all these moods and energy, and I've got to learn more. It's not what I'm here to do. So that is an exact example of why that work is so important. Like, what are we here offering? What are we saying? What are we trying to show? And it's not about sales again. It's about connection. How do we kind of invite people to want to come in and get to know us? Come in, take your coat off, not your clothes. Whoa, your clothes. big pause. Fire lava. So, take your coat off.
What kind of place you carrying us to? What kind of place you carrying us to, King?
Next level Shireen, bro.
He did the visualization, not me. So how do we get them to come in and feel that level of comfort, that energy to kind of want to stay? Because you've got like, it used to be 7 seconds. I think it's like 3 seconds for people to land on your website and decide if they want to stick around and scroll. That is not a lot of time. That's like a couple of blinks. So if you haven't made that impact within those 3 seconds, you've lost someone that could have been a great client for you or great part of your community. So all of that wording is as important as the visual. So you gave me the visual energy, had the eureka moment in the mood board phase. It was wonderful. And then it came to the wording. Oh, you want to? Okay, I should take
He's got it lined up. He's got it lined up.
Show them a little
Yeah,
bit.
show it.
Please.
While you're doing that, Moods, if you're listening, I would love to help you work out that your website. So just holla, see, make it happen.
Here we go. Right, here we go. So, hold on a sec. Maybe me while I navigate all these 1001 screens I seem to have. Here we go. So this was just the one page.
Yeah, just the mood board.
Mood board, yes. So talk to me about how we got from Jay's process and everything we talked about to this.
So this was born from everything that you shared. So when you talked about the connection with your audience, you talked about anti-gentrification, you talked about the sophistication, the flair, all of that. It needs to be translated in a way that you could understand what visually I'm imagining, because we can't get inside of each other's brain spaces. So this is the closest way that we can kind of meet at a mutual point before we move forward into the design. So this is just a collection of, these are stock images. These are images that I found that I felt represented everything that you shared. So we've got the gramophone for, it is music, but it's an elevated music experience. It is not just, coming from any records.
Gold gram
it's
as
gold,
well. It's
right?
Gold gram.
Yeah. And the kind of gold, it's a kind of gold. It's like an antique gold. So it feels grown. It felt appropriate for the experience that you were visualizing, that you were hoping to create. Then we've got in the bottom right corner, that's my favorite one. I think it's that living room energy, which you do as well. That's who you are. But there's a moodiness there. There's like a suave, sumptuous, deep richness. So I feel like that was the big energy that needed to come through, the richness. You're talking to a growing audience. They like nice things. They are not, the shabbeens. Done with that. It's not who we are.
And my audience, the age group of my audience, they know about the front room as well. Yeah,
right. Thank you. So this front room energy without the blue vase and the
blow up fish,
the birds.
I
like the blowfish. No, we don't come for the blowfish. I really like that.
And there's no Last Supper on the wall, but we know what we mean.
White Jesus, this one.
I was going to say, and
the holograph one.
The holographic
like when you turn from different angles, it's like that was a lot for my brain as a child. That was a lot. Who do I sue? that was a lot of experience. Visually overstimulated in that living room. The doilies, all of that. So this is an elevated version. This is an elevated experience. And then we've just got some of the colors, like the deepness. So in the top left, it's dark. It's just dark, but there's a richness in the dark. The gold's coming through from the symbols, and that's kind of what we wanted to come through. The plants as well. So while I had the plants in here to influence the design, it doesn't necessarily mean that the logo's got to be a leaf or anything like that. These are just kind of subtle nods to the kind of graphics that you can start including. So it might be that in the photography there's plants. It doesn't have to be literal, like we don't need plants in the design. It can just be kind of subtly included in the photography, which is also part of your visual design, your visual language. So this is almost like what do we call it? It's the visual groundwork before we move forward. And you almost like, it was, when you saw this, I wasn't prepared for the reaction. I was like, oh, did he hate it? What is that? What he's doing?
No,
What was
He's doing something. He was like this. Like, let me do it. Oh! He did that. And his hands were on his head for the last. I said, Jay, I think I need to
So
go.
he didn't know if it was a good or a bad oh.
What is he doing? Why is he doing? I was about to cry. What have I done? Go back and start again. I already had InDesign open, ready to go back and do it again. So I can do with rejection when it's work-wise. So I was prepared, but I was like, but he did it on camera. just look off the call and say, "Oh, sorry, my reception went. What were you saying?"
Oh wow.
It was a big reaction, but it was beautiful because it felt like we'd synced up. It was in sync. I did get inside your brain space, and I feel like we were both on the same page directionally.
Yeah.
That is kudos to the blueprint.
It was on point. It was on point. As just the feel of this, feel of this was on point. The colors were definitely, for me, it had the right level of sophistication and trainers, whatever, in the same space, just like in Moods. This was it. There was a lot of music elements in there as well. The whole Jay talked about the plant thing at Ritzy before, and I don't think people who go to Ritzy appreciate the fact that I always move that big ass plant onto the stage.
Yeah,
because it's a visual thing, and it enhances the stage and the room, and no one else does that. No one else takes the time to move that big ass heavy thing up and put it on the stage and make it a feature in the room in that way. So
you also bringing life to the stage.
Yes. Yes, that's the best word, because it's pretty clinical on the stage, almost without it, So it brings a whole different energy having that plant on the stage. So yes, having that in there as well. I love this. I loved it. So yeah, this was just on point for me. On point. The colors, everything, the whole vibe, the whole mood and vibe of this was right. I think you did two of them.
I did too. Yeah. One was a lot more color.
Yeah, but this was the one that was really striking with me. So
so I didn't have a meltdown. Everything was fine. You eventually drew your head back up and was like, "Yeah, great." It's like, woo! I haven't got to go work at Tesco then. That's great. That's all right. Looking forward positively. So that was beautiful that we got there, and because it means that I can this is the formulation. It's the birth, isn't it? Yes. So everything that comes next is just the development of this. Like, how do we create words that feel like this? How do we create a logo that feels like this? How do we sort of choose color schemes that look like this? When you show up on your socials or when you go to an event, how do you look like this? So this is kind of as important as, this is behind the scenes, but it's just as important as everything else that kind of your audience do actually see in terms of the design. The website pages. This is I guess it's like your visual North Star. So without doing the blueprint with Jay, without doing the visualization where we imagined your store, we couldn't have got here as well as we did. So it just the strategy is so key. You cannot skip that. You can't just go to someone on Upwork and say, "Yo, just dash me logo together." Not when you've been in business long enough to know exactly who you are, the quality, how can I reflect the quality and the personability and the uniqueness that I've been accruing all of this time. So it has to do it justice, and that has to come from strategy work.
Yeah, 100%. Well, yeah, you can go in and get a logo dash up like that if you want to, but it's not going to have the same. It's not going to have the same impact. It's not going to have the same meaning or depth as having gone through this process. It's obviously not going to inform and resonate everything else that comes from this going forward in the same way. So basically you're just going to be shorting yourself, basically, if you try and skip this process. It's like there aren't really any shortcuts, but if you take a shortcut, you pay the price for taking the short. You pay a great price for taking the short. So
I should say though, it's like important that this is best done. Jay and I do our best work with people who have been going for a little while. So a starting point, you can go and get an inexpensive logo or anything like that. You can get elements just put together, just so that you've got a visual representation, something. But when you start to outgrow that, you start to realize that it's not doing me justice. I'm not getting the kind of clients that I want to work with. I'm not reaching, I'm putting out proposals to go and to be a guest on so and so's podcast, or I want to go and have an event in this space, but I need to show that I'm of this quality. I need to show that I deserve a seat at the table and more. So to reflect that, that's when you come to us is when you kind of start to know that I don't fit in this box anymore. I'm kind of outgrowing it. And I know who I am. I know who I want to work with. I know where I want to be in 5 years' time. How can I get there?
Yeah,
that's this work.
That's summed it up perfectly. Because although One Nation had a branding before, I didn't do any of this process. I didn't do any of the brand DNA process that I did with Jay, and I didn't go through any of this process with you. I literally just asked someone, design me a logo, and we had it, and we just ran with it. But there was no backstory to that logo, and that logo, there was nothing that really underpins that logo, and it certainly didn't have this mood here that just this mood board has got. It didn't have this vibe at all, and it didn't feel right for the level of service that I want to be offering people. It didn't match. It was all right for I guess just for the event, for one event, or for t-shirts and whatever, but for the level that we wanted to transcend to, it didn't have the right energy to operate at that level. It wasn't fitting. You know what I mean? In the same way that what we've got now is fitting for this kind of higher level of operation. So yeah, I guess what I did before was an example of the importance of, or the difference between skipping the process and not skipping the process.
Yeah, and even just being at the right stage of your business for that, like you have to be in that place to know how to kind of show up for that strategy work. We ask a lot of questions. We do a lot of talking. There's a lot of, like, you're really looking into a mirror. So you have to be ready for that. It doesn't, it's difficult to do in the beginning because you've still got so much learning to do. You still got to kind of test for a few years and find where you really are comfortable. And then once you start kind of, when you start outgrowing it, when you're ready to move on and level up.
Yeah, and I think that's where I was, like I said to Sid, been here been doing One Nation as an event and as a brand for over 10 years now, and it did feel like it was time to level up now. At least it was time to start moving up a gear. Do you know what I mean? And having looked at all those other services online during lockdown and thinking, I mean, like I said before, I was just like, this is the level that I want to be on. I want to be operating. I want to not just be operating on this level. I want to be offering. I want my people to be receiving this level of experience. And if I'm struggling to find it, then I want to provide it. So it did feel like it was the time was right in some ways.
Like, there is no one out there like you. I did the research. I went and searched. There is no one out there like you. So that you can't be a hidden gem, because it's your duty to share that with people so that they can find you. They can have the DJ, the sound of their dreams, the experience of their dreams at their event that they hold so dear. And I know through everything that you shared with us how important that is to you, that you give someone peace of mind, you give them a quality experience, you give them the security that they don't have to worry about leads and ugly wires everywhere and all of these things that kind of can put a small dampener on the music. There's no candy, like no.
There's no candy.
There's no tin pan
There's
sound.
no tin pan.
No
there's
tin
no
pan
chocolateness around here.
Yeah.
And going through the going back to the brand DNA process, that showed me as well that people do actually value those little things that I was wondering, do people even really see this? Do people even really notice that I do this? Do people even notice the difference with the sound in here? I'm lugging this big box and that big thing and whatever up here all the time. Do people really appreciate the levels of the sound? And what the brand DNA process told me is that they do, because people are saying how the sound is always crisp and making it clear that actually they do kind of notice all of those things. You know, the fact that the quality of sound is at the root of everything that we do. You know, sound system, culture, the sound is vital. If our sound, any one of my sets to string up, the one thing you're going to hear people talking about is how the set sounds good. You're never going to hear the opposite with any of my equipment, ever. So it just was again, what's the word I used before?
It's validating.
Thank you very much. That's the one. Validating to know that people actually did recognize the levels of our equipment and the levels of a lot of the things that we do. So yeah, it was good. I'm going to take this off because we can talk about that all night. So yeah, I'm not sure where. That's how we got to that. I'm not sure how the website copy bit, boy.
Painful, but so like it's pulling teeth. It's hard. I'm doing mine right now and I'm not enjoying myself. I want to cry at this desk every day. I have to look at this wireframe. So we know.
Yes,
and
we know.
The reason why we are all there to support you through that process is because we know. Yeah. And we also realize it's so easy to start looking at your business as a functional thing. You start saying, oh, we do bar mitzvahs, we do weddings, but you're forgetting about the emotional things that people want to hear from you. You can't, if someone does, I don't know, like a Facebook call out for a DJ, like I want a DJ for a wedding. I don't know how you communicate all of the things that you do in that little box. Do you see? But when they go to the website, it will say everything. Word wise, yes. So the website copy or the wording says that physically, like it says, we do, and it tells you exactly what you do, but the energy can't be translated elsewhere. So the website copy is like your skeleton, that's your framework, that's you saying things, that's you turning up in a room and saying, hey, we do this at One Nation, this is who we are. That's what the wording does, the copy does. You can't, without spending all of that energy. I'm sorry, I know we burnt you out doing it as well. It
was worth it. But it was worth it.
This is my point. No one else can do that for you, because I feel like, first of all, the words from the people who filled in the survey, they are like, they hold everything up.
Yeah.
So they're already telling you the value of your business better than you could ever have told us. They told us everything that we needed to know about you. So then that's what we reflect back to the people who land on your website, don't know anything about you. What do they need to know on a deep level to be able to make a decision? People make decisions based on emotion. I don't know if we always want to admit that, but it is. It's a feeling, especially like Black community. It's always a feeling. It's intuition. So we want to give them everything that they need to make that informed decision about you. We can't leave any stone unturned because there's so much about you that is special. So the copy does that in the words, but all of the visual stuff, they just support it. They help capture the attention for them to take that information in. So, and I will say that the language in the website copy is so beautiful. It feels like you're there having a conversation. It feels like you're there holding their hand or hand on shoulder, walking them through this store that you visualize. You're saying all of these things. You're telling them. They're looking at a record collection. You're talking them through it. They ask you about, why did you start this? You're telling them about sister culture and the origins and the connection to your parents with the live streaming. It's all there. And it literally feels like you're taking them through this space with them. It's so special, and it's from your voice. It feels like you're actually saying those words. So you did good. I know it was hard, but
thank you. We did good.
We had fun as well. Like, I don't know what you're saying.
We did, but it's like
it was so hard.
it's like anything. You can't get the gym body unless you go to the gym. Do you know what I mean? You gotta put in the work.
Yeah.
You can't just flick a switch and get results. So you gotta put in the work, and it's hard work, but if you put in the work, it pays off at the end of it. It's worth it. You know what I mean? So the copy was like that. It was difficult, especially as I didn't have an existing website already to take copy from and kind of
That was a good thing.
rework.
That's a good thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
felt
you just would have recreated the wheel.
I felt that was just like, oh, man, I wish I had one already. I could have just kind of like
but that's what I'm saying. It would have
reworded.
been lazy. It would have been just tweaking what you already had when this is a level up.
Right.
Complete
So you
level up.
needed to come with something fresh.
And we would have done that anyway. I start blank canvas, so I strip everything away and we start skeleton. So you saw we had white page, grey box for the heading area. There's no images, there's no distractions. It's very confronting. Like, what are we here to say? What are we telling people? What do people need to know to choose you? What do they need to know to want to even scroll down to the next section? That's important. That's emotive stuff. So we strip it completely away. I think sometimes the distraction of having an old website, it's easy to hold on to old things. It's like moving houses, isn't it? How do you take this carpet and make it fit in another property? How do you do that? So when you start from scratch, it's completely from scratch. Oh, they're frozen. Do I just wait here until they come back? Are you still here? And I don't know if I'm frozen as well. Maybe. Oh, hold on. Oh, Laura Stars, you're here. Okay. Can you see me? Am I still in the room? Because I can chat. I'll just keep talking if... Oh, you can? Okay. Okay. So I don't know if he's made the visuals available yet, but I think... Oh, thank you, Laura. Oh, you're so nice. Got bags under my eyes. It's a late evening. But there is... I think he's going to launch it today. I think you guys are going to see the new website today, and it would be really great for you to kind of just scroll through and just maybe all the things that we've talked about today, the feeling, the connection, the emotional connection, if you can kind of see if you can feel that. If you've been to an event, does it feel like, you know, the energy that you feel when you go to an event? If you were at any of the Facebook live streams in lockdown, does it feel like that? So yeah, it'd be really good to know.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Go back.
You just held the foot. You was moving like a news anchor. She just kept going, bro. Nothing happened.
Laura was making me feel good about myself in the chat. Thanks, Laura.
Listen, Laura Stars is a goddess around it. We call her goddess.
Really?
Laura Stars is my mod on Twitch, my moderator. So she looks after the chat and everybody behind the scenes when I do my live stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the name of community.
Yeah, she's another essential member of the community. So big up Laura Stars. So yeah, sorry about that. We just had a little technical. We're not sure what that was, but we're back.
It's the internet. This is what it does, right?
Yes. So where are we?
We are. I wanted to ask, in this process, we kind of touched on it, but I wanted to ask if you had to explain, one of your people comes to you, Maurice, and says, oh yeah, I need a website. Do you know anyone that does websites? Mm-hmm. And you say to them, oh, you need to go through this process. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. It's transformative. And they're like, no, I've got a logo. I created it on Canva. Mm-hmm. I just want a website. Mm-hmm. What would you advise them, having been through this process?
I would advise them, well, depending on how long they've been in business, because like Kaylee was saying,
it's been 6 years.
Then if it's 6 years, then I said they need to go. I did exactly what you said with me. You said you really need to go to go to this process, and I would explain to them the process that I went through here and the benefits that it's had on my business and my brand.
Right.
That's what I do. I couldn't advocate for someone to bypass. I couldn't in good conscience advocate for someone to bypass the process, having been through it myself. So I've done it both ways. I've done without getting the logo done without and not understanding that, like you said, your brand is not just your logo. And I've even gone through creating my own website before, but doing it in the way that Kaylee was saying before, we do this and we provide this and we provide that, not in any way, shape or form really connecting with what people want and why they're coming there. So having gone that route and gone this route, I have a full appreciation of the importance of going this route. So I couldn't in clear conscience recommend someone to who's been in business for that length of time, for 6 years or more, to bypass that process. To me, it would be self-defeating,
right,
to go through that and not to do that and not go through this process. You'd be like taking one step forward and 2 steps back.
Right. Hey. So the service that Kaylee and Jay offer combined is called the Glow Up. Do you feel glowed up?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. I mean, I'm really hoping that people are going to see that when we reveal the website. But 100% in everything. I mean, obviously there's stuff behind the scenes that people don't see, but they will come to see through their interactions with the website and the business. I didn't issue contracts before. I know. I wasn't issuing contracts before with work. I know these things, and the way we do proposals now, proper proposals for people that lay out everything that they could possibly need to know, and everything is just streamlined and together. This wasn't this level of operation at all, but people will start to see the whole leveling up. The
transformation.
Behind the scenes and front of the scenes. Some people have started to see some of the equipment, some of the new tech, the live streaming that we do, the homegoing live stream in particular for funerals. We've even leveled up the tech. Before I was using this same laptop here I used to do them with this same laptop here. But this was very restricting because obviously with a laptop you kind of got to stay one place and all of that. So now we are completely wireless. We have a completely wireless setup, so we can literally go anywhere, indoors, outdoors, and with no break of a stream at all.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get into the technicals. Get into the technicals. I can feel the passions coming. But I want to firstly say, Kaylee, Hall of Hall Creative. Where can people find you?
Tell
the people them.
They can find me via my website, hallcreative.co.uk, and Instagram, which is just Hall Creative, and Facebook. Does anyone
see? Look at Laura Stars. Look at Laura Stars.
We love Laura. I'm just gonna stay here. What time are you back next week? Laura, do you want to come work for me?
She's a G.
She is.
That's amazing. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and on my website. Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, before you go though, how was the process for you?
Amazing. Like, I'm a mother at heart, so it just feels like we're kind of guiding and nurturing and holding throughout. So it was really nice to have Maurice kind of just trust us, just kind of, lean on the expertise and just trust the process. There were times when you could have been like, what are we doing? What's that? I don't know what that is, but you just kind of trusted us and let us do that. So that was beautiful. And also just trusting that it's not an overnight thing. It isn't for 6 weeks, bam, logo, website done. It's as long as it's going to take to get it right. And that includes the sessions that we have. If I feel like we're not quite there, can we jump on another call? Can we discuss this a bit further? Your openness and willingness helps our process. It helps us make sure that it's guided by the science, but it's also rooted in the connection and the empathy. So the process is wonderful. Like, it's tried and tested, but when it's happening and it's unfolding, it's a really beautiful thing.
Yes, and your patience as well for those times when
another
call, and I'm waiting on Maurice. Waiting there, I'm waiting on him to send me this thing. What's he doing? This word take too long. So yeah, I gotta say thank you and acknowledge your patience.
That's what we're here for. I led with saying my mother first,
because you could have been like, nah, that's it. I'm done now. You've got me until this day, and whatever if it's not done by then, later. Some people could have been like that, but you weren't. You were like, nah, we go until it's done. So thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Life happens, business happens. You're running a business, we get it. So yeah, like it just happens sometimes. We're just here to keep it grounded and make sure that we don't lose the energy that we started off with. So my pleasure.
You've done a great job, Kaylee. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for all the work that you've done with the website copy, the design of the new logo, so people should understand that Kaylee has created the new logo, which we'll reveal later on, as well as the website. All the branding Kaylee has done, taken from the work that Jay did, and then she's created a whole visual representation from the brand DNA process that we went through with Jay. So, like Sid said, combined, the whole thing is called the Glow Up. So yeah, it's been great. It's been great. Thank you so much. I love it.
Thanks for having me. Thank you. Have a good evening. Enjoy, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Later. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Oops. I nearly kicked us out of the whole stream.
You're not serious. Just like clicking buttons, like you know what you're doing. Anyone would think you were technical. How's everyone doing? Everybody's still with us. Nice to see so many people still with us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. I want to say we've probably got about another 15-20 minutes if anybody's interested in knowing what kind of timeline it is, because I'm aware we've been online for quite a while now.
Oh my gosh.
Time's gone really quick.
Oh my goodness. We've been on nearly 2 hours.
No, we've been on 90 minutes.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yes.
All right. So this process, we've talked about creating the brand, the foundation, the levels. We've talked about turning that into a visual representation and then plugging that into a home, if you like, or what I like to call your digital estate, right? The main part of your digital estate, which is the home that you want to send people to, where people can find you, connect with you, work with you, discover what else you've got going on. And then that brings us into the work that I do and that we've done together. And like you touched on earlier, we started with me and then recognized we need to take a couple of steps back to move forward.
In fact, I think we should take them back before that, from when, because we started this process before lockdown, remember?
Yeah, we did.
And then obviously lockdown happened and everything got shelved. For years. Everything got locked off for years. And then we had to start again.
And then when we revisited, but I think it was a little bit different because when we started the first time, we were making do. We were looking at what tools do you currently have in your business. Sorry, just to stick a pin for a sec and just explain what I do because people will be a little bit lost. So I am a business operations architect, and some people will be like, what does that mean? I build systems to support the life you want to live. I create ease for business owners, solo service-based business owners who want to focus on their expertise and not all of the moving parts of running a business. Because as most people who run a business will tell you, once you start your business based on a passion for something, that slowly gets diminished over time till it becomes probably 10% of your day. Because there are so many other moving parts to your business. So you've got your finance and your operations and your sales and marketing and all of the client servicing that you do that ends up taking the bigger chunk of your time because clients are the lifeblood of your business. And then everything else just gets done when it can get done. And then next thing you know, you're running yourself into the ground. So what I do is look at that holistically. I look at the business owner, their vision for success. What does success look like for that person in particular, not like a universal vision of success. Then I look at how do you currently work? What's important to you? Who's important to you in your life? And then we look at the work side of things. What do you offer as a service? Who are your clients? And often what I find, like I mentioned earlier, is when I get to who are your clients and what do you offer, it gets really wishy-washy. And I can't work with that. I can't systemize what isn't clear. And so that's the point when I'll say to somebody, have you done any work on your brand? Because sometimes people have, they've already done it and it's buried somewhere in a document. But if they haven't, then I'll refer them to Jay and Kaylee and say, have a conversation. I can explain it poorly and you can say, no, I don't need it. Or you can speak to them and then you can get a real understanding and decide whether or not you want to go ahead and do it, because it's significant investment cost-wise, but also it's a significant investment emotionally, as I'm sure you found. And so you need to be ready and you need to know that that's something that you want to move forward with. And then you get to the point where you work with me and then we put it all in place. But there is a lot of emotion that comes with the work that I do. And I want to say some relinquishing of power that works for some people and it doesn't work for others. But yeah, so we started working pre-pandemic at looking at, okay, what tools do you have in your business? Because you were very aware of systems, which was an amazing conversation. I remember when you were telling me about the book. Oh, I want to say Peter. No, it's
Tony.
not Peter. Tony Brown. Oh, I nearly said Peter Brown. I know Peter Brown somewhere along the line. Tony Brown's book around systems, and that was so exciting that somebody else in the UK, because I have these system-based conversations with Americans all the time. Systems in America are huge. In the UK, business owners are like, what? What do I need systems for? So having that conversation with somebody who looks like me, mate, I was gassed. And it was just exciting. And it was like, oh, okay, we can do this and we can do this and we can. And then we looked at how can we kind of systemize some of the structure in your business. But I think it was premature.
Agreed.
And the break came at the right time and made us, when we came back to it, made us look at it and go, actually, probably need to do it this way. So how was it for you in that moment of saying, okay, you need to go backwards to move forward, when all you really want to do, you've got this idea that you want to level up now and you just want to move forward? How did it feel to make a decision to go back first?
It made sense because, number one, as I said, throughout the lockdown, I've been online looking at a lot of the offerings that were there and realizing and seeing, so not even realizing, seeing what I was seeing was that the high-end offerings weren't really aiming at or even trying to reach or attract or cater to Black people. The high-end offerings weren't, or if they were, I couldn't find them. And even that was problematic. Why is it so hard for me to find this level of offering for Black people? So I, like I said, I already had that kind of burning iration in my spirit. But then also, by the time you and I spoke after lockdown, I guess I had a different mindset then, because I'd seen all what I'd seen throughout the lockdown online. So you saying I need to go back to the beginning and go through this, I knew that some of the brands I was looking at from abroad, from again, America, like you said, the Americans, they understand systems and whatever. And clearly the big American brands I was looking at, they'd been through this process that you were telling me I should go back to. So I was like, okay, if I really want to operate on that level and I can see that these high-end businesses have gone through this process, then that's what I need to do as well. So it the timing was good in that respect, and it made sense.
Right. Okay. And then so when you went through this process with Jay and then rolled into the process with Kaylee, and then it came back to us working together, do you feel like you had a clearer understanding of what you wanted to get out of our work together? Or did it just felt the same, but you felt clearer in what you were bringing into it?
The latter. It still felt clear, but it felt clearer what I was bringing into it. And also the vision for, like I said, the level that I wanted to be operating at was clearer. And obviously we had now all of the branding that Kaylee created. So everything was just going to look nice as well and be in alignment with everything else that had come before. The branding work that Kaylee done, which tied in, the image work that Kaylee had done on the website, which tied into the branding, the brand DNA work that Jay had taken me through. So everything just kind of fitted. It was like just pieces of a puzzle, just all fitted neatly together, you know. But then watching you work Watching you work is a whole different ball game. You know, watching you actually create these systems in front of me is like watching, I don't know, it's like watching some great artist paint a masterpiece.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Or it's like watching a top music producer, you know, create a top hit on there, and they're working on the
desk.
boards. Yeah. It's like that watching you. It's like if I was got to sit in a room with Jay Dilla and watch Jay Dilla make beats, I'd be like, and it's like that.
Wow.
Watching you work, watching you create those systems is just phenomenal. I could just literally just have you as a screensaver, just watching you create systems.
That's hilarious. Unless we're thinking systems are boring. Everybody finds systems boring.
No, watching you work is amazing. It's an absolute joy. I'm sure I told you this recently.
Yeah.
It's a joy to watch. It's a joy to watch. But I didn't until I started watching you create these systems. I didn't, just like everything else with the process, I didn't really have a full understanding or appreciation of the level of work that goes into that behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that until I saw it. Just like with Kaylee, I didn't really fully appreciate all the work until I saw what she was doing, and she took me through that process. Same with Jay. It's the same with you. Watching you create the systems that we have now is just it's a joy to watch, and it also gives me even more confidence to launch or relaunch, if might be a better word, because I know now that the systems are solid behind the website and the branding. Do you know what I mean? I would not want to launch something and everything behind it is wishy-washy. Like, you don't want to go push it and go drive on the road with one crisp looking bimmer and it's got some like little lawnmower engine in the
or the exhaust drops out.
Or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So it was like knowing that, everything looks shiny on the outside, but everything is proper under the hood as well.
Yeah. Would you say that the behind the scenes work, the systems work is valid? I get that it's holding it all together, but would you say that it's valid in terms of how you foresaw the experience? Foresaw a word?
Yeah.
In advance.
Do I think it's
does it present what you wanted to present in the way that you wanted to present it? As an
offering to the clients?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Externally.
Absolutely. But not only that, it works for me in terms of from a person who's running the business and able to oversee everything kind of almost from a bird's eye view in one place, holistically from one place. And also a key part of this was I want to manage my work time better, and I want to have a good, make sure going forward I have a good balance of work and home life and personal time, and not be working all the time and not feel like I've got to be doing everything in the business. So you being the queen of automation and all of the automation that you've put in is a joy for me, because it just lightens a lot of that workload personally on me, and when you're the person that's been you've been working on your own for a long time, then a lot of things the more you end up doing as things grow, you end up doing more, and it can kind of become a bit overbearing and just too consuming, of your whole life, for want of a better phrase. Overwhelming, I think, is the better word I was looking for. So you putting those systems in place, especially the automations, reduces the workload on me, which is wonderful, which means I can focus on other things that I need to be doing. It's
how have you found the process? Because the process is very intricate, right? Like when we started in the beginning, we mapped the journey that you want a client to take from their initial point of inquiry, from that first click of a button on a social media site before they even get to the website.
Mm-hmm.
And then every single tiny detail of every step they take next. So a lot of people don't understand from the outside. If you're buying something on a website, you go to a website, you see something you like. Let's say you want to buy a t-shirt. You click on the t-shirt, you choose your size, the color. That's about the extent of your decision making, right? And then you're going to put your card details in and you're going to pay for it. The back end of that process is all of the stock options, the sizes, the colors, the places it can be delivered to. Then once somebody makes that purchase, or before that, the payment process has got to be attached to the system, which is normally separate.
Inventory.
Yeah, the inventory's got to be added. Then what happens once somebody's made that purchase? There needs to be another page on the website that person is going to automatically see. That's not naturally going to happen. Then they also need to receive an email confirmation of their purchase. They also need to feel safe putting their credit card details into the page. Then they need to have their order logged somewhere. And then there needs to be a trigger that happens. Like, how is that order going to get fulfilled? These are the things that people don't see.
Yeah.
From somebody from the outside looking in, they're like, oh, well, I paid for it. And I got a receipt. But there's probably anything between 4 and 10 steps that happen in the background for that one purchase.
Which I didn't realize until I started watching you creating the new systems that we have. I didn't realize there was so much. Literally all of what you just said.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realize. I totally overlooked or just didn't realize.
You don't know what you don't know?
No, I didn't realize there was that much required behind the scenes, you know, of not just leveling up the business, but a website as well.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
When you think about the process of having to be definitive, how has that made you feel in terms of, you know, a lot, I want to say probably 97% of business owners that I have worked with in my 20-year career, in the online space, 14-year career, I should say, a lot of people will say, yeah, I want automation, make my life easier, make it make sense, make it smoother. But then when it comes down to having to be really definitive, that's really challenging. And sometimes people want the flexibility to be able to offer a lower price to somebody or to be able to be just a little bit more fluid in their decisions. But when you're automating, you can't be fluid because it operates on a if that, then this process. How has that been for you?
Challenging. Very.
Yeah.
Very challenging because people are still coming at me all the time with, can you do this or can you do that? Which is not part of the current offerings or doesn't work with the current automation. So, you know, it's I'm trying to, what should I say, we're trying to strike a balance between being definitive, but also giving people just a little bit of fluidity, to use the word that you used, without completely undervaluing the whole automation process that we've been going through. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge, and I think because people are also so used to the process is this, or has been this. People reach out to me directly and say, "Crop or Mo, I need X, Y, and Z. What can you do?" And we have that conversation. We'll do, and then they might have a whole conversation about all different kind of variables and whatnot, and then that's how it will happen. Now what we have is a different process, which requires people to go through a different route, and it's a different way of people doing things. But I guess because we're just launching now, people don't yet realize this is now the way we're doing things going forward. We're not on that just holler.
Right down. We're on the back of a receipt and just send me the things.
No, we're not on that level of offering anymore. This is how we're doing things now. And so, you know, people are starting to get the message. People are starting to see that this is how, but as we haven't, you know, we're just launching it from now. So it's been a challenge. partly because people aren't used to that. They're used to dealing with me in this way. And also, and for me as well, I'm also used to dealing with people in that way. It's also new for me to use these systems that you've created. So I also have to kind of, I have been having to make a point of almost forcing myself to use the new system and get out. It's like I got to retrain my own brain too.
It's a process.
Not do it that way. This is the way we're doing it, and we do it this way for a reason. And this was the whole journey that we've come across, and this is why we're doing it this way, and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and it will be worth it in the long run.
It already is. It always, like I said, I'm already seeing the benefits of it. That that bird's eye holistic view that I'm able to have, I've been able to just do everything in the one place and just have the automation in there as well will be wonderful. I haven't got to think of every email I've got to send. I haven't got to think of every single thing that needs to be done with every single booking or what have you. Will be wonderful. Will be wonderful for me because having a good work-home life balance is very, very important for me. And, you know, I'm on the 5th floor now. I'm not looking to increase my workload. I'm looking to decrease my workload. Yeah. You understand? So it's very, very important. Very important going forward.
And I'm interested to know how, what's the word I'm looking for? How location independent do you feel that you will be able to be in the next, let's say 6 months to a year, now that you have leveled up and now that you have put these new systems into your business? How feasible does that feel for you?
Very, 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 very. And that's another huge part of this process and why I want this process to happen, because I don't necessarily intend to stay in this country. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily intend to see out my days here, or spend most of the year living here. You know, I might want to spend periods elsewhere, but not want but the business still needs to operate. With these systems now, I can do that. You know, I don't have to physically always be here to do everything. And you know, the book that you referenced earlier on, Tony Brown's Standard Procedure. You know, that was Tony was the first person that started to really retrain my brain in terms of how I should be operating. In terms of running a business and freeing myself up from, and not just being chained to the business and having to do everything, you know, work in a systems-based way that allows me the freedom to go and do other things that I want to do, whether it be I want to go DJ more, play out more or differently or what have you, you know. So yeah, that's been very, 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 very important for me, and it definitely makes it much, in fact, it wouldn't really be feasible for me to be living elsewhere or whatnot if I didn't have those systems in place. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that.
You can't.
Well, there you go.
But I'm biased. You know? I'm biased. But so would you say then that having the automation has made you more or less rigid? Because the reason I ask that question is often when I'm introducing automation to people, they say, oh, I don't want to use automation. It's going to feel robotic for my customers. It's going to feel like it lacks a personal touch. It's not going to have any warmth. What would you say to that?
What I would say to that is I want to have a balance between that good customer experience, but also me working in a way that works for me. As the business owner, the business needs to be working in a way that also works for me. So it's not everything can be about the customer. I've also got to think about my time and my sanity and my mental health and all the rest of it. So it's about finding a balance basically between the two. And there has to be an element of this is how things run. Like you said, you can't automate things unless you have something that's set and in place already. And for me, I want things to run in a particular way. I want people to know that when we go through One Nation. This is the process. And it's just pretty much the same with anything else we do. When you buy anything from Amazon, you know the process. Or when you buy anything from whatever it is, you just know the process. And there is a level of confidence and assurity in knowing this is how it works. And having that consistency with this is how it works. Not today I'm going to have a conversation, or tomorrow I'm going to send a text, or the next week I'm going to send an email. No, this is how it works. You know, and at the end of the day, I think it's a good thing, and it is a sign of that leveling up. It is symbolic of that leveling up. So I'd rather have that than not have it.
Is there anything that you found particularly painful about the experience of systemizing your business?
Particularly painful. The thing I've found most painful, I would say, even if I would even call it painful, is having to put everything in there, all the information I've had to input and the different offerings, because with offering more services, means I've got more to write up, more to price up, more to all of those different moving bits around payment and the back end. There's a lot more of that now as well. So that and also the packages, the different packages that we offer. Once a package is created, and then thinking, oh well, actually we could offer this or do it this way, and it's like a constantly evolving, metamorphing thing. And every time it changes, that one change there can often have a knock-on effect to something else somewhere else, which you also have to now fix and change over there, which then has a knock-on to something else somewhere else.
It's a machine.
It is. It is. So
with lots of moving parts.
That bit could be a bit.
You got to do it in the right order. Once you get the order right, you're good.
Yeah.
And then I would say, you're fine. Have you found anything particularly enjoyable or enlightening or that feels good that things are going to be different?
Like I said, what watching you work is not just a joy to watch, but it also teaches me more about how things work behind the scenes, or how things are supposed to run behind the scenes, and a greater understanding of the importance of that. But also, I think the way that things present and look to people now, having everything just there one time, everything that you need, bam, 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 everything just clean, clear, is wonderful to me, because it's like I said, it's very much symbolic of the leveling up, and that's the experience that I want people to have. You know what I mean?
So if somebody wants to book you now, what's the process that they go through? So they come on the website, and then what happens for them?
Well, so they come on the website, and they will say, for example, they'll click it to make an inquiry, and a box will come up. Should we just show them?
Yeah, we can show them. I mean, in terms of how your process has changed.
Oh, right.
Because people would call you before, right?
Yeah, so they go on the website now, and they will fill out a brief bit of information about themselves and book, and they would arrange a phone call that submits that information that comes through to us. I get a notification or an email that someone's messaged me on the website and what have you. And they can book themselves into my diary for a phone call, which again works great, because they don't have to speak to me to make the booking. They can literally just get access to my diary and book themselves a time in for us to have a meeting over the phone or over Zoom. We have that conversation, and then I send them out a booking form, which they fill in all the details of whatever it is they want. Then I'll come up with some proposal. I send them a proposal. They will get a proposal, basically based on that conversation, and they can choose whichever proposal they feel best meets their needs. And once within that proposal is not only the proposal itself, but is also the contract
Yeah.
And also the invoice for the proposal. So as they do one, they go straight to the other, and it's just all in one place. Proposal, sign, cool. Then they get the contract. If they're like that, all the terms are there, sign, wonderful. Then the invoice is there, and everything is just clean. You don't have to keep. There's no this whole heap of emailing backwards and forwards. This document, send. It's just all there one time. It's all branded cleanly, just like the rest of it fits with the rest of the branding that Kaylee did, and it's just all clean and just nice. And then they get sent a booking confirmation, basically confirms with them everything that they have booked with us. So this is what the information that we have, and any information that we need in order to deliver that booking, whether it be a wedding, whether it be a homegoing live stream, whatever it is, or just a dry hire of equipment. They get a booking confirmation, and that's it. And then we go and deliver.
Fantastic. So there, people heard it. It's a straightforward process now. Everything is online at your fingertips.
Yep.
And so I think it's time for the big reveal.
Okay.
Is everybody still with us? Show us some signs. Put your ones in the chat, as you normally say.
Yeah. One's in the chat if you're still there. I can see people. I can see numbers. People still.
We still got a lot of people here. Yeah. We've got more people than we've had from the beginning.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I don't know where everyone's coming in from, but they're there. We are live right now on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Fantastic. So yes, one's just look at
nice.
Wonderful. Oh, Mr. Diesel's come in the building as well.
Yo, D.
Salute, Mr. Diesel. People are still yes. Look, they're all here.
Beautiful.
Wow. Look, oh my gosh, Ellis is here as well. Good grief. All right. All right. Let's line up this thing to share with you people the goodness.
How you feeling?
It's good. All right, people. So here we go. We bring to you the brand new One Nation.
And wait, before you go into it, before you click it.
Good.
So you've refreshed the brand.
Yes.
Revised it, put a new injection of life into it, and it has a new name.
Yes. We are now One Nation Experience.
Beautiful.
One Nation Experience. Yeah. And because we are all about the experience. Yeah. We're very much about the experience that you have, the experience that you get from us, that we're providing. So it's not just about, before we were One Nation Entertainment. And now we are One Nation Experience, because we are more about experience. And we're not all about entertainment either, because, the homegoing services that we do that's not about entertainment. But it is very much about the experience, a particular kind of experience, even in a homegoing celebration, So we are One Nation Experience.
And those experience, because we didn't talk about services because I was just conscious of time, but those services now that are offered by One Nation Experience are?
So they are hiring of sound system equipment. They are weddings in particular, sound system and lighting and live streaming of weddings, and they are homegoing services as well. Homegoing is primarily live streaming, particularly funerals, but actually I've had a request this week to live stream a wedding as well, but primarily the homegoing service is live streaming of funerals. So those are the three main areas of the service.
So just to clarify, before we look at it online, we've got event services, and those events are predominantly milestone events, right? So we're talking weddings, christenings,
milestone birthdays,
bar mitzvahs,
anniversaries,
all of those good things. And then and those services can consist of sound equipment as dry hire, so people can actually just hire the equipment, come and pick it up, take it, use it, bring it back in good condition.
Some equipment, smaller items of equipment they can do that. Sound systems, we would always provide and go and set it up ourselves to ensure that it's set up properly. But some people want smaller items of equipment. Some people, they have a sound, but they just need DJ equipment. They just need stuff like that. So yeah, smaller items.
Like a controller or
or
a microphone.
or microphones. I
yeah.
had to go and pick up some microphones today that were hired out at the weekend. So things like that, dry hire. But sound systems, we would always go and set up ourselves.
So that's you taking the big speakers and
well, big or small.
And I'm talking like I know what the rest of the equipment is.
Big or small, because we have 3 sets now for different sized events, from a small speaking engagement to big sound system now. So yeah, we have 3 sets depending on the size of the event. So yeah, smaller things can be dry hired, but the event services is primarily providing sound system and lighting for events.
Yeah. Okay. And so that's on the event side, and then the other type of event is the homegoing service, right? And that's live streaming and sound and lighting, or how does that work?
So the homegoing service is live streaming and sound system as well. So routinely what we get asked to do a lot of is live streaming of funeral service, normally in the church, sometimes also to do cemetery or crematorium as well, and sometimes even to live stream the reception too. But we've kind of scaled that down a bit to just doing live streams now, primarily of service and cemetery and cremation that's wanted. And for reception, we really focus on offering the sound system and music equipment that's always wanted at reception. Not everybody wants their reception live stream.
Yeah, I can imagine that most people wouldn't.
Yeah. So those are the services that we provide. And again, that comes from my own experience with, my parents' funeral in 2020, when that was the height of the first big lockdown that we had, the hardest lockdown that we had. And at that time, when my dad passed on April 5th, the law of the land was that only 10 people were allowed at a funeral. Which obviously meant that a lot of relatives weren't going to be able to come. But then even when my mum passed 2 weeks later to the day, and my dad's funeral now became a double joint funeral for mum and dad, we were still only allowed the same 10 people. We were still only allowed the same 10 people. It didn't double to 20 people can come now. The same 10 people were allowed. So obviously loads of people couldn't come. My mum and dad's friends and relatives couldn't come. So I'd set up a Zoom call to try and bring people in, but it didn't work very well. But that's where the seed was kind of sown in my head, because at that time I really needed someone to just deliver,
take care of it for you.
Just do that for me. And I struggled to find someone to do that. So again, that seed was planted, and just like with everything else, if I struggle to find it, I just set it up myself. So that's really come about from that now. And obviously during lockdown, many of us as DJs took to live streaming online as an outlet. It's the only outlet that we had, and through that I actually got pretty good at live streaming until people started asking me, could you come and live stream? And obviously we had a lot of deaths, particularly in the Black community. We had a lot. And so friends started reaching out to me saying, can you come and live stream my dad's funeral or my mum's funeral or what have you? And so that's how we started doing that. And now it's a fully fledged service that I offer with Hey SA as well. Can't forget Hey SA, who's also a part of the team. So we do that work together.
Okay. Right, so it's the moment.
Da-da, ba-da-da-da. Okay, people, here it is. This is your first look. Anybody's first look. We're going to
walk them through. We're going to walk them through the pages.
Yeah. All right. So, people, this is what it looks like.
Welcome to onenationexperience.com.
And this is where you first walk in. So, as you see, the colors that Kaylee had on that mood board, that lovely chocolate brown, and the gold from that gold gramophone. Yes, from the gold gramophone. These are the colors, and when you come in. Music and live streaming experiences created for your milestone moments. Right? Your celebration amplified is the first thing you see. And that's really what we're about. Amplifying your celebration, whatever the celebration, whether it be a wedding celebration or celebration of life, whatever the celebration. So this is what it looks like. This is your first look. At the top, you will see we have the services that we offer. So this is obviously the home page. We'll get to event services, homegoing services, and our about page. And there is a button if anyone wants to make an inquiry. And in the corner here, you will see our new logo. Right here. Some of you I know will have seen it already because I was a bit previous and fast.
Yeah, you was fast.
I was. I couldn't wait to share.
I don't know if Kaylee's still watching, but Kaylee will attest that you was fast.
I was.
I said, hold on a minute. This logo just popped up. Has that been signed off yet? Are we there yet?
I couldn't wait.
It's very common. It's very common.
I couldn't wait. So yes, this is the look at the first.
And I want to say, just before you move forward, that if anybody is interested in inquiring on a general basis for events or hiring equipment, then that inquire button is great. If you're inquiring about homegoing service specifically, please use the homegoing page because that has its own dedicated form on that page.
Yes.
And it's not that people can't use the other button, but you know,
it's a slightly different process.
Yeah.
But we'll get onto the homegoing page. So this is your first look, people, and scrolling down, this is what it looks like.
The beautiful couple.
Yes. And auntie and uncle, or ma and pops.
Yeah.
And this is what we're about, the higher standard for you. So remember before I was talking about the fact that I couldn't find this higher level of offering and experiences for primarily aimed at and targeting Black people. Most of the premium services that I saw weren't even trying to attract Black people. You couldn't see hardly any Black people on their site. And that's what that says to me. We're not really trying to attract you. We're not really for you. And so we are about the higher standard for you. Premium Black music-led experiences you desire and deserve. So we hope that makes it very, very clear what we are about and who we are for. Yeah. I'm not going to read all the smaller text. I'll leave you to visit the site and you can read more about that. And you can see a couple of team members there. We'll get into them.
Familiar faces.
Yes, we'll get into them a little bit later. Oh, I want to show you the record box. So if anybody wants to get an idea of what kind of music we are about as a brand, they can have a look in our record box, which is right here. So when you click on the record box, it opens up. Now it opens up, first of all, right, you'll see here, there is a sample mix. Now this is a mix that I've specifically done for this website. This mix is not anywhere else. So to listen to it, you're going to have to go on the website and click on that because it's not on my SoundCloud, Mixcloud or anything like that. So there's a sample mix there to give people a flavor of what we're about musically. But then you can look down and get a list or get an idea of the artists that we're about. So you can see
the range
here. Luther Vandross, Loose Ends, Tall Black Guy, Keith Murray, EPMD, Jill Scott, Black Street,
Massive Attack on Popcorn.
Massive Attack on Popcorn on the same page. On the same page.
It's wild.
On the same page. Burning Spear, Erykah Badu, Jay Dilla, Maxi Priest, Curtis Mayfield, Mighty Diamonds.
The Bee Gees.
The Bee Gees and Louisa Marks on the same page. What's going on? Mobb Deep and Arrow on the same page. What's happening? And much more. So it don't stop there. But this really just gives people a feel of the kind of music and artists that we play, that we like to play, and the scope and our range of the music that we deal with as a brand. All right. So that's a sneak preview or a little peek in our record box. Go back to the home page. So we've gone past the homepage, and this was the quote that Jay mentioned earlier. We're not quite sure who gave us this quote in the survey
because it's an anonymous survey, wasn't it?
Yes. But this was one of the quotes that we got that we really liked. Like your mum's Sunday dinner, even if you know what you're gonna get, you're never disappointed. So thank you to whoever put that quote in the feedback and the questionnaires that we sent out. We love that one. And again, Black people, beautiful Black people celebrating on the website. This is what I could not see. Yeah. So again, just showing primarily who we are for. Scroll down again. Authentically celebrate, commiserate, and everything in between. Again, just trying to make it very clear what we are about and what we stand for. The spirit of the sound, obviously we talked a lot about sound system and the importance of the quality of the sound underpinning everything that we do. So again, just making that clear, music to sweet your mind, body and soul. I'm sure many people read that. You should just understand what that is. Yeah. And then a bit about the live streaming, how we live stream worldwide, bring family and friends together. And that's primarily is what the live streaming is about. It's about bringing people who cannot be there in person to the rest of the family for the celebration, whatever that celebration is. So what I find, particularly with the homegoing live streams, is that we've all got family either in the Caribbean or in Africa or in America. That's primarily where people tend to be streaming in from. And it really is about bringing those people who can't be here for whatever reason, whether it was the lockdown issues or whether it's visa issues or mobility issues, health issues, whatever it is. It's about bringing the family together. If this is the only way we can get them there, then we will get them there this way. So that's really what it's about. And then this bit here, just letting people know that we've got you for whatever it is you need. So being a part of your important life moments is a privilege we take seriously, and just really explaining some of what came up through the brand DNA process with Jay and some of that why. This is some of our why we do what we do. Not so much the how, but why we do it and why it's important to us. And again, I'm not going to read them all. I'll let you go on and read at your own leisure. And then here again, just another trying to make it clear to people how we operate. This is more about how, not so much about the why, but how. So we're a sanctuary of music, togetherness, celebration, and commemoration. And we just kind of take you through some of the main steps in which we work. So share your big day vision. Your venue gets checked and blessed because we liaise with your venue in advance if we need to make sure any logistics are sorted beforehand, so you don't have to, basically. This is for weddings, primarily your playlist on lock. And that doesn't mean that we are mobile jukeboxes and you just give us a list and we just play the track then one. That's not what we're about. But we do make sure that everybody's clear on what music is to be played in advance. So that's what the playlist means. It doesn't mean that we're walking iPods. We don't do that. We like to use playlists as a guide rather than a definitive list. And then obviously the day is yours to enjoy. But I'll leave you to, again, read the finer print. And then here is a link to us. If you want to talk to us, you click on that. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But then down the bottom here, excuse me, we have an invitation to join the One Nation community. So we have the events here that we do. Now, obviously, this is going to need to be updated because we did have a lot of outreach there. But it takes us to some of the events that we do, the public events, let's say, that we do for people. So again, events for authentic lovers of Black music and culture, making it clear on who we are and what we stand for and why we are here, bringing people together under this banner of music. That's what the whole that's what One Nation stands for. It's bringing people together under the banner of music, i.e. One Nation under a groove. Here we have some pictures and quotes, again from the survey, thank you, that was sent out. Some of the quotes that you sent back, which were wonderful to read. Guaranteed fun vibes with a nostalgic feel reminiscent of late night house parties and all dayers. where no one's watching face because they're too busy having a great time. Cool people, wicked music, and dopeness all round. Always a memorable night for the right reasons. Thank you to whoever wrote that. Thank you.
It's a testimonial and a half.
It is. And there are some more of those. So again, I'll leave you to go on the website and read them. But yeah, and there's Ellis. Ellis, you see yourself. He's in the chat there now. So yeah, some lovely pictures and wonderful quotes from people who have been to One Nation. And then obviously some information here about One Nation and the YouTube video about that. And just inviting people to come and join the family. They can link here on Facebook, sign up to the Facebook group there. Inviting people onto my weekly live streams. Many of you know about my live streams already on Twitch. So live and direct in your living room weekly. And there's a link to the Twitch channel as well for people who are not there already. Another example of some work that we've done locally when we played out a few times last year. This was the Jerk Fest that we did last year outside. Some of you came to that. And this is another example of the kind of events that we like to, kind of public events that we like to do and will be continuing to do from this point on. So expect more Jerk Fests this year and more outdoor events from us this year as well. And then an invitation to sign up to the mailing list so people can kind of stay up to date with what's happening with all of these different events, public events that we're doing. So if people want to be kept informed, they just sign up to the mailing list there, and then you'll get a heads up. So yeah, that's the first page. You click this and you just head right back up to the top. Love it. Shout out to, sorry, I'm not going to shout out anybody in the chat. We got Laura Stars has put the link in the chat. So anybody wants to, Laura Stars has put the link right there in the chat for you. Thank you, Laura Stars. Let's have a quick look at event services. So this page, as you can see, is primarily about weddings and events. So wedding and event DJs, sound system hire, and live streaming. And you see the color scheme just goes throughout. We have the logo, the new logo on every page. The color scheme is consistent on every page. And you'll see that we make it clear that we're covering London, Kent, and Surrey. Yeah, those are the areas that we're covering. Surrey. And again, beautiful imagery of Black people celebrating, which is very, very important for me to show, to make it clear. This is who we're prioritizing. This is who we're primarily here for, because I couldn't find this level of offering for us. So it's very important that we have that imagery. You and your guests deserve an unforgettable experience, which is true. And again, it's why we've leveled up to this level of offering, because, you know, as I said before already, I've been struggling to find a high level of offering for us as Black people. And we do deserve an unforgettable experience. And that's what we're about. So just briefly, once in a lifetime events are just that. So let's do it right. Let's celebrate life together. You know what? I'm not even going to read this.
I think people need to go on their own journey with the copy.
Yeah, they need to read that.
With the text and have a chuckle.
Yeah, you need to read that. I'm going to spoil it by reading it. So we're already polishing our best shoes for you, just showing that, you know, we come suited and booted, not just in terms of how we physically dress, but our equipment as well. It looks good. We look good and our equipment looks good. Like we were saying before with Jay, there's no leads all over the place. There's no chaka-chaka-ness. There's
chaka-chaka-ness.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It might not be in the dictionary, but you know what I mean. There's no chaka-chaka-ness. A little bit about the event live streaming that we do. Like, as I said before, we primarily do get requests to do homegoing live streams. But as I said earlier on, I've already had a request this week to live stream a wedding as well. So it is something that we offer, not just for homegoing. So it's about sharing that particular day in real time with those who can't be there. So they can see wherever people are in the church or in the wedding are seeing, whoever's watching it, they're seeing and hearing everything in real time. In fact, In fact, I'm going to be a bit bossy now. In fact, the quality of what we do is so good that usually what happens is the people listening on the live stream are able to hear everything clearer than the people who are actually in the room.
Oh, wow.
Because normally in church services, the sound tends to be not good. So when I've got the headphones off, I'm always listening and monitoring what's happening on the live stream. When I take the headphones off, I can barely hear sometimes what's being said.
Wow.
In the church and in the room, and I put my headphones back on. The people, what they're hearing is Chris, because obviously we got the mics right up wherever they need. We have 2 to 3 separate microphone systems in operation, so we can always pick up or zone in on whoever and wherever people speaking in the room. So yeah, normally the people on the live stream listening from another country are hearing everything clearer than the people who are in the room.
And the live stream, if I remember correctly, you do 3 live streams, right? There are 3 different lines of communication.
So we set up 3 streams for each live stream we do. So we use one main link, and then we always have 2 backups, because the internet is something you can obviously never have 100% control over. So we have those other 2 live stream links just as a contingency. If worse, God forbid, anything should happen to our main link, we've got 2 other backups ready to go. So no one's got to be messaging anybody saying, "Oh, what's happened? We need another. How can we? Where do we go now?" Or what
so you just share those straight out the gate, so everybody has. If one fails, you can just click on the next one.
Already there. So the backup links will already be sent to the family, and they will already be included in the description section on the main live stream link on YouTube.
Right.
So it's already there. People already have access to it.
And that's a private YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unlisted YouTube. So at the moment we are live streaming on YouTube, unlisted live streams, which means it's secure. Nobody can go on YouTube and search and find it. No one can't stumble into your live stream and start typing foolishness or anything like that. So it's always unlisted. And we always record every live stream separately or independently of the live stream as well. So again, God forbid anything should happen to the live stream link. Yeah, we've got everything recorded directly and separately anyway. And also, some people want a actual recording after the live stream as well. So again, we have that to send them or to provide them with as well. So we have multiple backups.
We've covered all bases.
Yes. Another wonderful quote. This is from a wedding I did last year. R&H, that's Ron and Halima. I did their wedding last year, and they've left a wonderful quote, which I'll leave you to read. Downtown vibes in uptown settings. That's what we're about. Real vibes in uptown premium settings. Yeah. Your sound, your way, everything from roots reggae to neo soul. And then there's that sample mix here again, which you're going to have to listen to on the website because it isn't anywhere else. Again, giving people an insight into the breadth of music that we basically deal with and that they can come to expect from us. And there's a link to our record box again. And that's a little link there to get in touch with us. If you want these vibes, you just click on that and it opens up the contact page to us. It's a little quote from me here. Yeah, no, look at me nice. But my mission is to use the powerful gift of music to bring people together and unite them and give them an experience they will cherish in their memories for a long time. Again, just making it clear what my personal mission is with this, especially when I play out. This is kind of my intention. When I play anywhere, this is what I want to send people home with, that kind of experience. I want to send people on with those kind of memories. When you've been to a really good dance or good rave and you're talking about it in years. Remember that boy we went to down in such and such room way back in what? That's what I want. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. Again, just giving people some insurance. You can cross the music off your list, and giving just some steps in how we do what we do, process. So yeah, And then meet your DJs. Get to know the experts. And here there is a link to the DJs. And now you're looked after by the whole. Oh, it's not gone off again. It wouldn't.
Oh no, how did you end up in there?
Whoops. Oh, I thought I'd done something wrong there.
Yeah, you ended up in you're in the back end of Squarespace.
Oh.
Go back a page.
Okay. I thought I'd click something off there. I was like, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done?
It's fine, it's fine.
Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Stop clicking.
All right, I'm going to stop. Where am I now?
Go forward one. Go forward one.
Okay. Sorry, my hand's too fast.
Yeah, there we go.
How much does it cost?
So FAQs.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was trying to think of. FAQs. And then this here is a download where I give advice to people on how to ensure they get the best sound at their event. So there are a few key things I've learned from my years of experience that some people miss in terms of getting the best sound at their event, whether they're going to use us or not. I mean, hopefully they will, but even if they don't, I still wanted to give people some advice. These are the things you look out for when you're scoping out a venue. Mm-hmm. These are the things you look out for when they start to tell you whatever you can only use their equipment and yada yada. These are the things you look out for. These are some of the brands that you should be mindful of. That kind of thing. Right. So that's basically just some information there that I share with people on mm-hmm. what you need to be looking out for when you are looking around at venues. Yeah. Be mindful of those things there.
You was on the DJs.
Oh, I was on the DJs. Lord have mercy. Let me there.
Keep going.
There we go. Okay, did I click something wrong here?
No. Yeah. Why is that taking you? Okay. We have to look at that. We'll have to look at that.
Well, we'll go at it this way. Let's go by homegoing services. Okay, so it's important to note, again, branding runs throughout everything. Logo stays there. The imagery is a bit different on this page because obviously this is our homegoing services page. So we wanted to have a different feel and a different energy to this page. So this one is less about music and wedding and celebration, and we have the lily there, which was we felt was a bit more fitting of the energy we wanted on this page. So homegoing services that bring loved ones together to celebrate life, just kind of stating it clearly on the tin what we're about. And yeah, don't read through everything. I'm going to let you all go through and read for yourself. Me just kind of letting people know my story, which I've shared already about what got me into this. I've been there and I get it. And I just felt it's important for people to understand when they come to us to do a homegoing live stream, it's important to know and understand that I'm coming from a direct lived experiential perspective of doing this. So I understand the need for this. I understand the importance of it. I understand the cultural nuances of Black funerals in particular. And I understand the technical aspects of delivering this kind of service, particularly for Black people and for Black funerals, because I've had to be there and do it myself. So I think it's very important for people to understand this isn't really an academic thing for me. I'm coming at it from a direct lived experience, and that's my wonderful mum and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Merle and David Cunningham. This is a wonderful quote from someone whose homegoing I did for her son, from Mrs. David. So I'll leave you to read that. Making it clear that we honour culture, again, just referencing those cultural nuances that exist for Black funerals in particular, because Black people and white people do funerals differently. Yeah. Making it clear what's included in the homegoing service. again, I'll leave you to go on and read and have a look at those things in your own time, and then another link to have a conversation with us there. So this page has a slightly, the imagery is slightly different and has a different feel to it than the other pages. But we still want to hope we're still giving that same sense of class and surety on this page as well. And then lastly, our about page, your sound consultants, your quality experience connoisseurs. That's us, quality over everything. Really is something that comes from the brand DNA process with Jay, that ran through that kept coming up. That quality is vital for us. Quality is vital, whether it's the quality of the music, the quality of the sound system, the quality of the DJ, the quality of the picture, the quality of the live stream, the quality, whatever we do, it has to be done to the highest standard we can possibly deliver it. So just like the word said, dedicated to delivering premium audio experiences. This is one of my new DJ booths, one of our new DJ booths. This one had imported in from Germany. Actually, I've forgot to put the laptop stand on it. You'll see on this picture. See that?
Oh, I see. I see.
There's a laptop stand, which I forgot to put on it on this picture. But this is our latest DJ booth. So we have 3 DJ booths now for different occasions. This one we would use more for weddings or milestone celebrations. Best of both worlds. This is kind of explaining that we come from a DJ and soundman perspective, soundman or woman perspective as well. And just explaining what the benefits of that are. Basically, that DJs, people who just have a DJing background, they don't really have to have the technical expertise that's required if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Whereas someone's coming from a sound system cultural background, then if things go wrong, it's part of what we do. It's just we've got to rewire the sound or fix this or fix that to keep the party going. Know what you're doing. We know what we're doing. So we're not just going to be looking around scratching our heads for someone else to come and fix the thing. We all know what we're doing. Taught by an icon. This is a nod to and flowers to Sister Culture, who I mentioned earlier on. This is the woman who got me started in this whole DJing game. This is a legend and an icon in the music business here in London. As I said, a pioneer, because to this day there aren't many women who have had their own sound systems. But she was the one who gave me my first tutelage in sound system and sound system culture and DJing. This woman, so everything for me started with this woman right here. So that's me really just sharing my story about Sister Culture. This is sharing my story about how it all started, how One Nation as a brand all started. It all started with a song and a feeling. So that's me just sharing that story there, where it all came from. And then back to the DJs. So meet your One Nation DJs. Obviously, you have myself. We have DJ Marvelous. We have Fire Diesel, Mr. Diesel. We have Grown Folks Grooves. We have Hey SA. And there's a little bio for each and every one that's on there. Again, I'm going to let you go on the website and read everyone's bio, but these are the One Nation family DJs. And these are all DJs who I would love to have playing at any one of my events. But there's a bio there for each and every one of them. So most of you will know these DJs already, but for those who don't know, they're going to learn. Another wonderful quote. There were so many quotes that came in through that survey. So thank you to everyone who gave these lovely quotes. Professional service from beginning to end. I know that I will be thoroughly entertained. I almost wish some of these weren't anonymous, so I could put names on them. But thank you to all these quotes that came in. And then just some information about some of the other activities that we get up to. You're likely to find us supporting people special to us. So just some information about some work I was doing recently with Rising Tide, doing DJ workshops for young people in Brixton, and another initiative I'm working on at the moment with the Ubele initiative, which is about improving the life and care services for improving the standard of life, and care services for Black seniors across London. Mm-hmm. So this is just some of the work that I'm involved in behind what people usually see of me DJing and playing in clubs and stuff like that. But this is some of the work that One Nation as a brand will be supporting or is supporting as well. And then again, link to events. That's a link to the Twitch sessions and an offer to join the mailing list there as well.
And then right at your bottom, you got your site credits.
Where is that?
On the bottom right corner.
Site credits here. I need to add to this. So site credits here, if you want to get a link to Kaylee, Jay, or Sid, it is right there on the website. So there is a link basically to connect to any one of them. I need to add Type Arts to this as well.
Okay.
Salute to Type Arts for doing the photography. A lot of the photography on the website. So salute to Type Arts. Many of you will know Tony from Type Arts already from doing photography at One Nation events at Ritzy. But I will add his link to this as well. So salute to Type Arts. But if you want to get in touch with Kaylee, Jay, or Sidel, the links are right here on the website. Basically, just click on any one of them and it will take you straight there. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Let me just show you what an inquiry link looks like. So you get this contact us, and then this comes up. You fill out your details, and then you just hit submit inquiry, and that is it. That starts the process. Yeah, so a little bit of information from you, who you are, what your event is, the date that it's on, and then just hit submit inquiry, and then that starts the process.
Fabulous.
In a nutshell,
it is out in the world.
That is it. That is it.
And and we still have our audience. I'm so impressed that you guys have stuck it out. It has been a lengthy session, but I hope that it has been worthwhile and that you have enjoyed learning about the experience, the process. How are you feeling, Maurice, now that it's out in the world?
Fantastic. Yes. Relieved and excited as well. I'm glad that we showed it to the One Nation family first.
Yeah.
To the family, to the community who's been with us and supporting us first.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great to have it out there. It's great to reach this milestone, and to be able to say, okay, we couldn't find this level of offering. We struggled to find this level of offering for our people. So here it is. Here we are. Yeah. So it's good. It's good. Thank you so much to everyone who is still here. My gosh. Thank you to the messages coming in the chat. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Sweet Pea. Thank you, Grown Folks, Grooves, Miss G. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. Thank you, Diva. Grown Folks Grooves says quality. Thank you, sir. Melissa Dean says congratulations. Thank you very much, Melissa. Sweet Pea says congratulations. It's beautiful. Thank you so much, Sweet Pea. Much love to you. Fantastic job. The new Leveled Up brand looks amazing. Exciting for you. Thank you so much, Karen. Miss G says, love the nostalgic feel, the warmth and engaging content. Great images too. Amazing job by all of you involved.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much, Miss G. Thank you again to Laura Stars for looking after us behind the scenes and putting the link in the chat. Thank you to everyone who's come in, who I haven't said hello to. Buddha Palm TV, Kim Wolves, and anyone that I've missed, please forgive me. We've been here a long time. I think we should lock off now.
I think before we lock off, is there anything that you would like from those people watching, whether live or on the replay later? What would you like people to take away from the website, and what would you like people to do, if anything?
What I'd like them to take away from the website, I'd like them to take away from the website an appreciation of the level that we are now on. Mm-hmm. So the old One Nation was good, and obviously people really appreciated the old incarnation, if that's the right word, of One Nation. But we're on a new level now. It's a new day. And so I want people to really appreciate that we're on a whole new level now, and I'm hoping that you're going to enjoy this new part of the journey with us. So yeah, I want people to appreciate the new level that we're on. I want people to feel the way that I feel when I go into Moods music in Atlanta. You know, I want people to get that kind of feel from it as well, and I want people to come away with an appreciation of who we are, what we stand for, and why we're here.
Right.
Yeah. And really just for people to go and visit and reach out, you know, sign up to the mailing list if you want to find out where we're going to be for the public events. And if anyone's got any events coming up that you want us to help with, then the link is there in this is the process now. This is the process.
And in terms, one question I had, which I didn't ask earlier, was when you talked about live streaming, obviously we talked about homegoing and we talked about weddings and milestone birthdays and things, but people put on events like conferences and corporate events and that kind of thing.
There's nothing that we can't live stream because, as I said before, we've upgraded our tech with the live streaming as well. And so we are completely wireless now.
Okay.
So we can literally go anywhere and live stream anything, anywhere. Okay. Yeah.
Good to know. So people can share the website now, right?
Yes, you can share the website now. It's live. Go and have a look, listen to the mix, and just have a little wander around and get a feel for it. And enjoy. Let people know this is the new One Nation experience, and share the link as well if you feel to.
And we will ask people for feedback, probably over the weekend. To just give their first thoughts on the website. And if you join this session today or live, or you catch it on the replay, to just to share your thoughts. That would be really useful, I think.
Absolutely. And be honest. You can, we're family. We're family. We're family. We can be honest. So yeah, do that. Go and have a look and let us know what you think. And you're going to start seeing some of the imagery on the live streams that I do changing as well. I was going to show some of that, but we've been on a while. But you'll start seeing some of that on the live streams. Nice. So yeah, very, very excited. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Sid.
I just want to give a nod to the brand colours because I couldn't say it earlier because you hadn't revealed it yet. But like, I see you. I see what you're doing. I see. When I walked in, I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is what we're doing, yeah.
I was like, is this too much? Is this too much?
I almost didn't wear yellow because I usually wear my brand colours when I do video. Okay. But then I was like, it's not my video, I can wear what I want. It's not my brand. So yeah, it's important because it's a subconscious connection that people will form over time. So yeah.
And I'm learning. I'm learning from going through the process. I'm learning. Even when I'm watching adverts on TV now, and I'm like, why are they always wearing those colours? I get it now.
Subliminals.
Yes. All right, people, thank you so much. Sid, thank you so much for coming and being here. Thank you for all your help with the systems on the website and the new branding. Thank you very much. Big shout out once again to Jay and Kaylee. Also to Laura Stars for helping us, and also to Type Arts. Can't forget Type Arts.
Yeah, and we'll get him up on the site.
We will get him up there as well. Yes, absolutely. Salute to Marshall. Just coming in the building. Peeps. We're leaving, Marshall. Sorry, you're late, bro. You have to catch it on the replay. All right. Thank you. Before we go, let me just throw up on screen before we leave the actual address. So there it is. I know Laura Stars put it in the chat.
Okay.
But there it is. www.onenationexperience.com is the new website. All right. onenationexperience.com. Go and check it out. Have a look. Let us know what you think. And And
share it.
Please share it.
Please.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Thank you very much, peeps. We outie.
Peace.
Later.
Take care.